Hello there, and welcome to Midland Earth. Today on our Fellaship episode, we are going to talk about our favourite actors. And actors is including male men and women, as I don't think they really use the word actress these days. So we're going to talk about our favourites, what we've liked them in, what we like about them. We'll discuss them a little bit as a group, but there's quite a lot of us today, so we're going to try and keep it as brief as we can. I'm going to start off, I think. But today I am joined by quite a lot. There's me, Matt, there's Lewis Marshall, got Dave Webb, Oliver Griffin, and JJ Spencer. It's nice to have a lot of us here. But I'm going to start with. Who do I want to start with?
Who's your first pick? Go on, Matt.
I don't know. One that we can all talk about, I think. Let's think. Start with an more older one that's been around a long time. Gary Oldman.
He was an old man.
Good old Oldman. But
old man.
Yeah, I've just tried to go for people that are pretty much liking everything, and I think we can probably all agree that pretty much like Gary Oldman in everything that he's been in.
Oh, it is incredible.
Because he just,
range.
I don't know, he just steals the screen, doesn't he? Every time. I think, to be fair,
I was saying earlier, he literally, like, the amount of times I've watched the film, and then at the end the credits roll, and you go Gary Oldman, you go, he was in this, was he?
Yeah, you don't realise it's Gary Oldman, and then you're like, oh my god, he did such an amazing performance in it, you completely forgot.
Well, so I remember seeing a meme where it was like, imagine you're in your deathbed and then you die, and then you get out of your deathbed and pull a mask on. It's actually Gary Oldman.
Yeah, I think one of the first things I remember him in was has anyone ever seen Leon? Where he plays the bad guy in that film.
Leon the Professional.
Yeah,
that one.
He's the villain in that film. Where he plays the bad guy, that bent copper. I love him in that film. It's so funny. But, like, I think sometimes he can get accused of like overacting, but I don't think he does overact. I think he's just, I don't know.
I think he's one of those actors that if he is overacting, it's probably necessary for the character that he's playing.
Yeah.
If you look at if I'm thinking of a film where you probably would say he overacts a bit, you look at his character in The Fifth Element. He plays a villain in that. He's very sort of flamboyant, isn't he? And that's when his overacting is needed.
I mean,
I just didn't realise that he was actually the villain until I just looked up the filmography and was like, oh god, he is. And then as soon as you kind of see his face, you go, yes. And then like you said, is that overacting is just there, but the character needs that.
Because he puts on like a little like speech impediment in Fifth Element as well, doesn't he? He's got like a little bit of a whistle. Oh, that's quite funny. I can't even imitate it. It's just so good. I love when he talks like that.
Yes.
I think also when you look sort of like 2005, he did both Commissioner Gordon and Sirius Black.
Yeah,
admittedly, it was only a cameo for Goblet of Fire. He was only in it shortly, but the difference in characters between the two of them, so versatile in how he actually performs both parts.
When you talk about films where you don't know it's him as well, think of which one is it? I think it's Hannibal. Anyone seen Hannibal? Where he plays the guy in the wheelchair, doesn't he? With all his faces all like messed up, where like mutilated. You wouldn't even know that was him, like, unless you looked at the credits.
Mason Verger, that's the character's name.
That one. Yeah. Crazy in that film. And like things like what's his again? Is it Darkest Hour or something? Where he plays
Darkest Hour, where he plays Churchill.
Like, you can't tell that's him either. Like, it's crazy.
No.
But he played. What's the? I literally had it on the tip of my tongue for a second. Then. No, go on, Lewis. You were about to say something.
He was in just looking through some of the things that I remember him from being in. Obviously, he was Dr. Smith in Lost in Space, and obviously there was his version of Dracula as well.
That's it, Dracula. Yeah, Bram Stoker.
So he's been in quite a few things that you probably actually don't realise that he's been in. Just looking through his credits, actually, he's done, from what I can tell, quite a bit of voice work for the Spyro games as well.
Oh.
Yeah. Wouldn't have known that, obviously, when you're a kid and you're playing those games, you wouldn't realise that Gary Oldman's in that as doing all the voices. Ignatius.
It's just looking at some of the actual films that he's done. It's sort of like he's been Lee Harvey Oswald, he's been Dracula, he's been Beethoven.
Yeah.
That's just in the space of a couple of years. Like, yeah, it's so many things that you kind of don't realise it's him, and then he just comes out of nowhere and appears. You're like,
now, I can imagine Matt, like, as a kid, just playing Spyro going, "That's Gary Oldman."
News to me. Okay. Yeah, it's good to know. But yeah, I love him.
Yeah, he's a good pick. I think he's a great actor, and obviously he's got a few awards now. He's won the Oscar a couple of times, I think, or at least once.
Has he been knighted yet? Is he Sir Gary Oldman? Because if he hasn't, he should have.
I don't think he is yet.
No, I don't think he is.
No, yes, Sir Gary Leonard Olsen.
Oh, he is. Yes, he is.
Actor and filmmaker.
Yay.
Yeah, he won the Oscar for Darkest Hour. But I think his knighthood must have only been recently.
Well deserved.
Oh, yeah.
Knighthood. It doesn't say.
But yeah, it's definitely my first pick.
It's a good pick.
Who's your second pick then, Matt?
Shall we go everyone's first pick and then jump? Go back round.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Lewis?
So when I was putting my list together, first name that came to mind for me, Mark Hamill. Obviously, we all know him as Luke Skywalker, so obviously for majority of us, if not all of us, that's like one of your first childhood heroes. But he's also brilliant in terms of his voice work. He does a lot of voice work for whether it's games or cartoons, and you don't realise it's him.
Well, I didn't realise that he is my favourite Joker. He's incredible.
Yeah. I think when it comes to his voice work, obviously Joker is the standout one. And I know everyone goes on about live action. Obviously, Heath Ledger's the best Joker and whatnot, but overall, I think Mark Hamill would probably go down as the best Joker. And that's just based off his voice work.
Yeah.
And I think quite a lot of people would also, on the flip side of that, say that he goes hand in hand with the best Batman in terms of Kevin Conroy. Because they dovetail together so well in the animated series and the Arkham games as well. I think they both did the voices for them.
Yeah,
I think one of the things that makes him stand out for that role is then when other people then have to take on that role after Mark Hamill doesn't. Yeah, they're intimidated by the stature that he's done with that before them, and asking him for advice and taking tips and stuff like that, which is so important. So
yeah,
I think it also shows as well is that when Kevin Conroy died, is that Mark Hamill retired from voice acting as the Joker.
Yeah.
Because he openly said that there is no Joker without Batman. And it shows the kind of person he is. He's a genuine, nice human being. That he had such a good working relationship that he doesn't want to tarnish Kevin Conroy's memory.
No. I think that's one of the things that I like about him and makes him one of my favourite actors is that he is a genuinely nice person. He always makes time for his fans as well. He likes to have fun about himself as well. He's not afraid of actually taking the mick out of himself. He'll quite happily appear in cameos where it's taking the mick. Obviously, there was the Simpsons episode where he's voicing himself and whatnot, and he's in that particular episode. He's obviously cameoing as himself at a convention, and he pretends to hurt his ankle so that Homer will carry him out, and then I forgot my lightsaber, and he turns around and Homer has to carry him back, and here it is, and he carries him back out. And Matt Quimby's like, "Quick, Luke, use your lightsaber." And he's like, "What? And break it? George Lucas makes you pay for these."
Is that the use?
It's also
Use the force.
Use the forks.
Use the fork.
There's also Jay and Silent Bob, isn't there?
Yes.
That whole thing where he's just parodying himself. The whole scene is just like, why? But he just has genuine fun doing it.
Yeah. He does a cameo towards the end of the Big Bang Theory, and he marries Sheldon and Amy, and Will Wheaton's there, and he's supposed to be officiating, and Mark Hamill just sort of steps in and steals his notes and goes, "Oh, thanks, these will be great."
Do you ever feel like with Mark Hamill that he's one of those people that when you were growing up you loved him, and then when you get older you still love him, but for like different reasons?
Yeah,
and it's harder in not all the actors that maybe we're going to talk about today, that we appreciate them more because we're older, the type of comedy they do or the type of acting they do, because we're older and we understand that. Whereas as a kid we loved him as Luke, and then we still love him as Luke, but for different reasons and for different things as well. And I think that's how good voice acting, good acting on the screen is, and him as a person, like you've said.
Although my one negative is that he let the whole drinking weird green milk go by.
Well, to be fair, he did have a lot of criticism of that role, didn't he? Like when his role in
he should have said, if that was me, I'd be like, Luke wouldn't do that. Why would he?
Well, he did. The problem is that, as he said openly in interviews, he came back to do the role that they asked him to do, even though he disagreed with it, because it was a kind of like, it was a tribute to the fans because they wanted Luke Skywalker back, but it wasn't the Luke Skywalker he wanted Luke to be.
He played it as Rian Johnson wanted him to play it, but in his mind he didn't associate it with being Luke Skywalker. He thought it was someone else type of thing. That's how he played it. But again, like you say, that goes to his credit. He completely disagreed with the way that they've taken his character. But at the end of the day, he's gone, "I've got a job to do, so I will do what you want me to do on the screen." Whereas other actors could have turned around and gone, "No, that's it. I'm done. I'm walking away. I'm gone." Yeah, he's definitely one of my favourites. And as I say, it's not just because he's Luke Skywalker, but it's his. Just looking through his credits on IMDb, is his wealth. I mean, a full wealth of voice acting. He's just in everything.
It's crazy to think, like, when you go, "Oh yeah, he's not been in many films." Then when you look at his voice acting roles, he's been in so many.
Insane. Yeah. Who's next, Matt? Who's next to take that
that was a bit awkward, wasn't it?
You have to cut that bit.
I was plugging in my laptop because it was dying. So
interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely going to have to be cut. We don't want to just balls on the middle of
realism.
If you want to see that, you have to pay for the Patreon.
So we'll sub Patreon or
Midland Earth After Dark.
OnlyFans, Matt Riley 89.
Oh dear.
Dave, what's your first pick?
I think my first one, I'm gonna have to go with Patrick Stewart. So I grew up on Star Trek: Next Generation, so I loved him from the start. But then when you get into it, is that it's also how much of a versatile actor is, and that he's happy to take the rip out of himself. Obviously, started in the Royal Shakespeare Company. So you've got films like Lady Jane, where he played the Duke of Suffolk, which is a very serious role. But then he did Robin Hood Men in Tights and played Richard I. So he's gone from, yes, bitterly both noble lords, but one was very serious, the other one was a piss take. But then also it's that I think because of how he portrays, he's still got that very Shakespearean, old school actor talent behind it. So when you look at Star Trek, it's very much a case of you've got a very experienced actor there in it. He just kind of ties it all together.
Isn't he also a Sir?
Yes.
He's also
of the realm.
I think we're gonna have a couple Sirs. It's weird because, like, obviously being a shiny-headed man, also It's weird because you look at it and you go back to like Star Trek and then you look and you go, he looks the same.
Yeah. He hasn't aged in sort of like 40 years. Perhaps he's got a painting in his loft.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
But then obviously as he's moving forwards, you've then got him as Professor X.
Professor X, yeah.
Kind of, I suppose it's a similar kind of role to Captain Picard. Very refined, very respected gentleman. But then you move to American Dad, and he's the boss, isn't he? And he's just like some of the lines that he comes out with on that. You're like, this. How can he go from one extreme to the other?
Well, there was what was that? Was it like the Oscars or something where he called someone out? They were like, I can't remember what it was. It was it might have been the Oscars or one of the award shows, and I remember that it was someone who. Oh, it was James Corden, and he was being.
Hasn't called James Corden out.
Yeah, and he called him out, and he was just like, when you come up on stage, and it's like really, a lot of Hollywood kind of types, they just ignore it and they just go with it, just keep the peace. But like, I kind of respected that he called him out and was like, right, you're being obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if anyone's not seeing that, then have a look on YouTube. It's actually quite funny because I'm glad no one picked James Corden as their favourite actor because I hate him. He's awful person. But Patrick Stewart,
I'm not a fan of him either.
Stage is brilliant. He definitely deserves the sir.
Hmm.
But he's another one that, again, when you say, I think it's going to be a recurring pattern as well. It's not just his sort of acting in front of camera again. He like Dave said, he's done American Dad. He does voice work again. I quite like the Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah.
And when I first got the first one I got was Oblivion, and when I first put it in, I had Xbox at the time. When I first put it in, and it starts up, and I'm thinking, that's Patrick Stewart. As soon as the game starts and you start getting the narration, it's Patrick Stewart in that game. He's already in it for like a brief cameo at the very beginning, but straight away I was hooked because I was like, oh my god, but they got Patrick Stewart in this game. And the next thing you know, Sean Bean's in it, and it's great. So
the one thing you kind of, when you go back and play Oblivion now, though, is you realise how much of a lech the Emperor was, and just like, it's kind of tarnished Patrick Stewart a bit now.
A little bit, but at the time when it was what?
Yeah, we don't talk about how long ago Oblivion.
Yeah, whenever it was. Well, that's straight away you're thinking, wow, this has got Patrick Stewart in it. You're thinking this is going to be good. Despite the
do you think if you told yourself that? Sorry.
Go on.
Isn't Carol as Ebenezer Scrooge? Oh my god!
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I remember watching that as a kid, and I don't even like. It just doesn't like. Oh my god! As if that's crazy.
Yeah, I think my all-time favourite Christmas Carol movies are Patrick Stewart, because he takes it very seriously, and also Michael Caine, as we've discussed many times before for it, because Michael Caine and the Muppets is that Michael Caine treats the Muppets as people, and it works so well.
Michael Caine. Wait, he's in Ted. Who is he in?
He's the narrator.
He's the narrator.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't remember seeing him in Ted.
When it comes to Patrick Stewart as well, this is the age-old sort of debate, really. Kirk or Picard?
Picard over Kirk, TOS over TNG.
Yeah, and I think that's the correct answer. Because he was just, in terms of being, he is a far superior captain, but obviously TNG can be a bit slow and talky, whereas there's obviously more action in TOS. Picard's definitely the better captain.
Unless the other three just kind of zoned out slightly then.
Marvel. Just like going to something else. But yeah, I watched Next Generation, to be fair, when I was younger. Watched it for a while. I can't remember anything that happened in it, but I remember watching it.
There's a lot of talking.
I've seen the odd original. What's it? To be fair,
you get more action in the next gen films than you do really in the series.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Is it one of the films where he gets assimilated by the Borg or something? Is that in one of the films?
Well, no, that's in the series.
It's in the series, but they do have a film where the Borg are in it, and because he's been assimilated in the past, he then has sort of knowledge and an advantage against them.
I vaguely remember that. And wasn't Tom Hardy supposed to be a weird kind of clone that went wrong?
Tom Hardy is a clone of Picard.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's one of Tom Hardy's first movies, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, one of his first roles. Going up against Patrick Stewart.
They do look very similar.
Right. Shall we take it, Oliver? What's your first one?
It feels like I'm doing a overall pick. So with my first overall pick, I'm going to pick Adam Sandler. And the reason that I'm picking Adam Sandler first is because he's been an actor that's just been a feel-good actor for me. Yeah. So when I want to have a laugh or if I'm ill or something like that, there's a couple of films that come to mind straight away that are just classics to get me feeling a bit better. So like the original Happy Gilmore, Waterboy, those types of comedy but has a serious message and story behind it. I think the only gripe is I think he kind of gets into a stereotype with the types of roles I think he picks sometimes. Obviously Grown Ups as well. One of my other favourites, because I'm a big basketball fan, he was in this film called Hustle, where he's a scout for the Boston Celtics, and he kind of finds the balance between family and sport. And I know a lot of people that like sport struggle with that too as well. So,
what about the is it the Longest Yard?
The Longest Yard, yeah, of course.
It's a sport one he's in. I agree. I like more of his earlier films than I do some of his later ones. I think one of my favourite of his films is I really like The Wedding Singer. There's just something about The Wedding Singer. I just think that's probably one of his better films. Obviously, you got Little Nicky and things like that, but I always go back to watching The Wedding Singer. For us to pick one of his films.
Yeah, I've always found Adam Sandler hit or miss. Sorry, JJ, I talked over you then.
No, that's all right. No, I was just going to say, I think he's up there with Jim Carrey for those kind of 90s kind of horror. Yeah, 90s horror. Those kind of comedy films. And it's just you go back, watch them, and they're very quotable.
Yeah.
So you got to let it slip down your throat hole. I love Little Nicky. It's one of those that I feel doesn't get as much noise about it compared to some of the big ones like Waterboy and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
He is that. He's kind of. I feel like he's dropped off. The one film that I'll always hate him for is Jack and Jill. That film is just the most disgusting film I've ever seen. I would rather watch paint dry than watch that film.
Yes.
It's deplorable.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Do not watch it.
I think after I've not really watched any of his films after 2005 because I think at that point that's when he's sort of become a big name, and he's just his films have just taken a nosedive at that point.
I think
there is a recent one he did. Is it Uncut Gems or it's something to do with gems?
Yeah. Uncut Gems, yeah.
It's more like a drama kind of. It's not a comedy. Is it?
that is actually incredible. It's the first one I watched and went, oh, he's trying to do a serious role. I'll give it a go. But honestly, it's actually really good. He plays it really well. But has anyone seen the new Happy Gilmore 2?
I've seen it, yeah.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
They just lean too much into the comedy because the balance between Happy Gilmore one was that there was those comedy elements when they needed it, and it was like serious. That's how I kind of started talking about him. Is that even though there's comedy, the messages that you say with that comedy is important.
Like he's trying to save his grandma's house, isn't he? And
there was a heartfelt message in the plot line, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But this one feels like, oh, you're going to pay me a lot of money. Oh, I can get a lot of I feel like every 2 seconds was a cameo.
Yeah.
Eminem's in it. Why is Eminem in a comedy film? Like, he's just randomly out there. He just shows up and he's like, oh, hey, yeah, how you doing? And Eminem's in it just for like 20 seconds. There's so many just like, oh,
I think there was 127 cameos was in that film.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, it does not surprise me. It's so like, does what's his name from Saved by the Bell? Is it Screech or something?
Oh yeah,
he's in it, and I didn't realize until they pointed it out. They actually pointed out who he is, and I was like, oh crap, it is him. It's like, why? He's not involved at all. There's no reason to have him in the film or to bring up who he is. They could have had him in as a cameo where you didn't know until you kind of like, if you're a big Saved by the Bell fan, maybe you'd notice. But they literally point it out and say, hey, aren't you Screech from Saved by the Bell? And it's
says it all. Then it's just made it a cameo fest, but then they've thrown people in there that people genuinely aren't going to know unless, like you say, you are a big fan of that. I would never have known that.
It's literally aimed at people who have watched the film originally, whereas I feel like they should have made it the same as the first one, with like, it had a point and had a purpose and heartfelt kind of thing. Like, actually wrote it, not just go, hey, remember this? They wrote it for people who were fans of the first film and go, hey, remember this? Hey, remember this? Hey, look, it's that guy from the first film, oh, hey, it's the guy from the first film. It's his son or something. Like, it could have been better. I'm feeling Netflix has got obviously a deal with him. I would not be surprised if there's like Waterboy 2, Little Nicky 2. Like,
yeah.
But that's one of the issues we've sort of got at the moment. Films in general, you're either getting a lot of remakes or just pointless sequels that nobody needs because Hollywood's run out of ideas.
Berries, hey, remember? That's what everything seems to be at the minute. Like,
just build on nostalgia if they can.
Yeah, if they can. If they think they can make, they can cut the budget as much as possible and then just give you some member berries. You'll eat them and then they'll make a couple of million. That's all they care about. They don't care about making great films as long as they make a couple of million.
I go back.
Anyway, back to Adam Sandler.
He is, but one of the reasons why, like I say, I sort of stopped watching his films after sort of 2005 is because he's another one where he just overacts too much, and it got to the point where he's just overacting for overacting's sake. It's not that it was sort of a point to his character. It's just, oh well, this is Adam Sandler. He overacts. This is what he's going to do now, and it's got a bit too. Yeah. Just got too much in the end. But I can understand why Oliver's picked him. Is you look at his early works and it's those films that we sort of grew up with again on the comedy side of things, and you do look back at them and you think, oh yeah, I really enjoyed that. And some of them are quotable, like you say. Happy Gilmore, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
And then they made number 2 and they say, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
And you just think, go away, not interested now. I'm gonna guess as well that none of you have ever taken up golf at any point in your lives.
Yes, every weekend.
The point I played briefly when I was younger because it was a cheap hobby to do at the time back home because membership was only like £60 at my local club, so it was got me out and about. But my God, the Adam Sandler golf swing is probably one of the hardest things you can ever try to attempt. It is not easy.
Have you seen the second one?
No.
So all you have to do is get a surgery and you cut some tendons in your hips, and that's it. You can do it.
But that sort of run-up swing that he does, it's not an easy feat. So that probably would have taken a load of takes for him to get right every time it's needed to be done.
Does he actually hit the ball then properly, or is it like CGI?
In the second one, in an interview, he misses it the first time when he goes back because he's quit golf for a little bit, and he accidentally hits his wife with one of the balls and it kills her. So he's like, he stops golfing. Yeah, I know, because obviously his balls when he hits them, they're like 120 miles an hour or whatever. So it like hit her. And she dies, so he's like, I'm not going to golf anymore. Spoiler. This is how stupid it starts. Oh, sorry. You're not going to watch anyway, so...
Yeah, spoiler.
Just put spoiler in the
Someone might do.
But yeah, that happens, and basically he goes to hit it for the first time in so many years of not playing, and he misses it, and that was actually him really doing it. And that's how many times they'd have to do it, because he'd be missing and he'd fall over. And then in the second one, because he wasn't as limber as he was back in the 90s, he had to. They had to do some CGI for it, I think, for the second one. So
pretty funny. But yeah, I do get what you mean about the feel good. If it's like movies and stuff, because they all do have like a good message in that, don't they? And a nice heart to them. So.
These earlier ones.
Mm-hmm. Right, JJ, what are you going with?
So, I'm going with Arnold. Yeah, my favorite actor is really good. Yeah, Arnie is just that kind of guy who, how did he become a world famous actor? Like if you think about it, he's a bodybuilder from Austria who had a very, very strange voice, and he became one of the biggest actors in the entire world. Like you've got to
quotable as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously I love him anyway, so I quote him all the time. But I watched recently. I put on Conan the Barbarian.
Yep.
And made my missus watch it, and she was not impressed because there's a bit where he falls. He's being chased by wolves, and they're actually German shepherds. And then he falls down this. Like cave thing, and he's going, ooh, ooh, ah, and she's literally going like this, like, oh my god, what is he doing? But my main thing that makes me love him is obviously he's incredible in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And just the way that like they don't make films like this anymore as they made in the 90s. You know, like what have I got down? Like Kindergarten Cop, Last Action Hero, True Lies, Junior, Jingle All the Way is my Christmas film. That's every year.
Love Jingle All the Way.
Good pick.
Jamie,
down.
down now.
I love it.
That because they have to either, if it's going to be funny, it has to be offensive, and nothing's. You know, it's weird because like he's such a. How do I explain it? He's such like a unintentional comedian. Like he comes off as it, and like just the way he talks, obviously it makes it funny. And he's he's this massive dude, and there's like someone who's like he's like a foot taller than someone, and they'll come up and try and fight him. And it's like if I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, 6'2", 6'4", or whatever he is, I would not start on him. I'd be like, well, no, he's massive. He'll crush me. He'll turn me into a pretzel. But in all these films, they always, you know, like, oh, I'm good. Like in Terminator 2, you know, when he shows up and he goes into the biker bar and he's naked. If you
switch knives and pool cues.
I don't care if I was a tough biker dude playing pool. If some massive 6'4", insanely ripped dude came up to me and was like, "Give me your claws," I'd be like, "Cool, let me just take them off for for you. I would not try and stab him or hit him with a pool cue. I'd just go, here you go, have them. Do you want me to take them for you? I'll wipe them down for you before I.
What size shoe are you? There's 4 of us here. Surely one of us has got a set that fits.
It's like there's so many. Like I love him and Danny DeVito are incredible together.
Yeah.
Like, for so many years, obviously Danny DeVito's in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I've got this dream that I had one time of him showing up on It's Always Sunny, and then people making comments and saying, "Oh, you guys look so similar. Like it's almost like you're twins."
You could be brothers.
Yeah, and they're going, "What? What are you talking about? No, we don't. We don't look anything similar." Again, no, you look so similar. You're literally twins. And I'm waiting. I'm really waiting for them to actually do it before either one of them die, because neither of them are like, young now.
Yeah.
So they need to do it soon. And if they want to give me credit, I'll take £100 or something. I'll take it. But literally, that would be my dream. But there's so many, if you think action now would not be where it is without Arnold Schwarzenegger.
His films have helped move that sort of genre on, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, if we don't have Predator would not be a thing. Like making really good films like Prey, I actually really like that as a film. And they just did the animated Killer of Killers. That's really good. That wouldn't be a thing. Like if they picked anyone else to play it, it probably wouldn't have come across as well as it did.
I mean, you look at his catalogue as well, and it really is a gold mine in terms of his films from like sort of the mid '80s all the way through the '90s. You're looking at them, and you probably say that there's very few in sort of that 15 to 20 year period. Very few films that you turn around and go, I actually don't like.
Well, I mean, what's weird is like when you look at it, he is one of the most, for me anyway, is one of the most quotable people.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it was, him ad-libbing or it was just his delivery, but there's so many films where I could quote them. I'll sit down and watch them, and I haven't watched them millions of times, but as soon as it comes up, I'll start quoting it because he's just so memorable. Like,
I think it's Arnie himself, isn't it? He is quite a jokey actor. But it's like we're discussing with Mark Hamill. He's genuine, down to earth human being when you actually get to know him. A lot of people are initially intimidated by him, and then as soon as they actually start acting with him, they're like, "No, this guy is genuinely a nice person."
And for me, he's the only highlight when it comes to Batman and Robin. He's the only highlight.
Jill. What killed the dinosaurs?
The Ice Age.
Is it not the? I thought the nipples on the bat suit would have been the bit that did it for you, Lewis.
No.
Yeah, there's so many and the fact that he's become part of modern day meme culture as well.
Yeah.
You see the I think it's Commando where they do the muscle grab.
Him and Carl Weathers.
Yeah. And there's so many things from it. Like watching when I watched Conan, it was so funny. Like just all this different scenes, like when he's having sex with the weird witch woman, and then she starts going crazy, and he just throws her into the fire, goes back to sleep, and then gets up and is like, "Yeah, I'll just carry on my mission now." Bye. Yeah, that's my first pick. Good old Arnie.
Good pick.
It's the one.
How are you going to get better than him? Have you not set the bar too high?
Have you guys seen the? I think it's one of the Academy Awards where Michael Keaton's getting an award. There's Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger doing the announcement, and they're both just like,
"You see that guy there? He tried to kill us, and he just got Michael Keaton to start the joke."
He used my biggest weakness against me: heat, love. He threw me out of a window.
This is not what I say because it's not actually Michael Keaton at that point, is it? It's George Clooney that goes off against Arnold Schwarzenegger, but
yeah,
so they're just referencing because he's Batman. So
love it.
But yeah, it is good.
That's some quite good.
So Matt, you're next then.
Yeah, there's some quite good pairings at that Oscars. To be fair, they're quite funny. A lot of them were like paired up because they could play off each other, which was quite clever. I thought, to be fair. But don't need to go for now. After Arnold,
Danny DeVito.
No.
I don't think actually appears on anyone's list, does he?
Unfortunately, not.
No.
Alright, I want to go with Benedict Cumberbatch. Because I just
Mr. Strange.
Yeah, but he's just in all sorts, isn't he? He just does everything. He just does a bit of everything. He can be funny. He can do action. He can do like drama. He can do sci-fi. He can do like historical dramas. Like he just does a bit of everything. And he's always.
I appreciate his dedication to Smaug. Have you seen?
Yeah. Have you seen the video of him acting it? Like motion capture. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
You just don't ask him to do a documentary about penguins.
Why?
Have you not seen it?
You can't say penguin.
You can't pronounce
You
penguin.
can't say the word. No.
I'm intrigued.
It's a clip. Have a look at. It's an interview he does on Graham Norton. Have a look, and they show like a clip of the documentary, and it's just that every time he says the word penguin, he's saying it differently. He cannot say it as it's supposed to be said.
That's so funny.
Penguin.
Penguin. A penguin?
I think my favourite Benedict Cumberbatch film is The Imitation Game. Because he plays Alan Turing very well, but it's a very important historical event. But like Doctor Strange, he's very good at. I've never been a fan of him as Sherlock, but that's because I've always preferred Basil Rathbone as. No, I've always preferred like the original Sherlock Holmes, but I still appreciate how he does the character.
Yeah, I like the Sherlock TV show.
That kind of leads on to someone else's pick for good actor as well, for Sherlock. But I enjoyed him as Sherlock. I liked him better than Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock.
Yeah, I'm the other way. I prefer Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock, just because it's different from sort of like he plays he definitely plays the drug fueled side of Holmes better as RDG.
Yeah,
he's got experience.
Yeah.
I think it's because obviously with the modern iteration that Cumberbatch in, obviously they've updated it, they've made it more modernised. So instead of him being addicted to drugs, they obviously give him a very strong nicotine habit. They do obviously have it in a few scenes where he does do drugs, but he always sort of plays it off as he's doing it because he's solving a case.
Yeah.
But
did you hear about the cut line out of Infinity War, where they were going to have like a Sherlock joke? So obviously they were both Sherlock. They were going to have like a no shit Sherlock kind of line that they put out. I think that seemed a bit too on the nose, didn't it? To be fair. Yeah, just he's really good at voiceover. Like I enjoy his Grinch as well. To be fair, his Grinch is
true, yeah.
But I don't know. It just has an intensity that I quite enjoy. A lot of the actors on my list are quite intense. Even in films that people don't really like, like Star Trek Into Darkness.
Oh
like
yeah,
his Khan, not Khan, was probably the best bit of that film. To be fair, I did enjoy.
Yeah, we don't talk about that film.
I enjoyed it. Not the film, just his character. I liked it.
Yeah, the character was good, but the problem is it was such a rehash of Wrath of Khan that I didn't enjoy the movie as a whole.
They could have had it so that he could still play that character and whatnot the way that he did, and it would have been good, and they could have made him different. He could not have been Khan, and it would have still sort of worked.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't need it to be Khan.
No. Because in terms of the way he's played that role, he is incredibly intimidating. You could tell he's a threat and things like that. They just, obviously, they've gone, oh, right, well, we've done the first Star Trek film. We're going to do a sequel. Well, and they're just like, oh, well, it has to be Wrath of Khan, but we can't name it that because Trekkies will go mad. So we'll just call it Into Darkness and just
put him in anyway.
Yeah, and rehash it, just not in a great way.
Like, I think he's one of those actors as well where I always, if I see his name on something, I'll be kind of like, oh, he's in that kind of thing. Like his name like draws me to things, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Are you going to be watching the new one that he's in?
The Roses, isn't it?
The Roses, yeah. It looks.
Two of my favourite actors in it, Olivia Coleman and Benedict Cumberbatch. So
yeah,
I definitely go see that.
I saw that the other day. It popped up as a trailer thing, and then it looks quite funny, but it's quite down to earth, kind of relatable thing, which is it's nice to see him in rather than he's been in quite a lot of like you said, intense kind of stuff. This kind of seems like a BBC family drama thing, but I'm interested to see it just from what I've seen, the little bits. I'll probably watch it, like you said, just because he's in it.
Yeah, I do love my Cumberbatch.
Mr. Cucumber Patch.
Yeah, shall we move on to your second choice, Lewis?
I mean, may as well just follow it on straight away, as it's been alluded to. I've gone with Martin Freeman. Obviously, as we mentioned, he's alongside Cumberbatch in Sherlock, but I sort of like his range. He's obviously plays Bilbo Baggins in the Hobbits films. Seems to have a knack of playing small, angry men. Seems to be his forte. But he's good in that. Obviously, he's been even in sort of small roles in the Cornetto trilogy, and there's something about I don't know what it is. There's just something about Martin Freeman. When I see him in something, I just enjoy it. Obviously, he was in the Hitchhiker's Guide film, which has its moments. I wouldn't say it was brilliant, but
did you ever watch The Office?
No, because I don't like Ricky Gervais, but I'm aware he was in it.
Well, I like him in. He's in Love Actually and Nativity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love Actually.
Yeah.
So I feel like I like him better in the smaller roles.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he kind of jumped. Like he wasn't a massive actor in general. Like he was one of those like well-known British actors.
Yeah, and he get
all of a sudden it was like he was in, Hobbit. He was in Fargo. He was in so many. Isn't he in like the MCU now?
Yeah,
he's in the Black Panther films and such. But he's like you say, we all know him. We've all seen him in like small roles in TV comedies and things like that, or small sort of indie British films. And then I think obviously like Sherlock was definitely sort of what's brought him up onto the world stage, and then he's got these roles in bigger things. But yeah, I think I've just always enjoyed him with whatever he's been in. And yeah, he just sort of always plays a small, angry little man.
Well, typecast.
Yeah. I do think he has that kind of like everyman kind of feel to him a lot of the time, doesn't he? In stuff, like Love Actually and stuff. It's kind of like just a.
Yeah, but I feel like that's why when he's in these bigger films, I feel like he's a bit. It's like not out of his depth, but like it feels weird.
Yeah, he gets consumed. He gets consumed by when he's on the screen. There's bigger personalities around him that will then, take your notice, and you're not necessarily watching him, even though he's still got an impact in the what's going on.
What did you make of him, Dave, as Arthur Dent in the Hitchhiker's Guide film?
I liked the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I prefer the original BBC series that they did of it, But I think that he plays, like you say, he plays an angry. He does play Arthur Dent very well. Is that he plays the I haven't got a clue what's going on. How is this normal to you lot? Kind of persona very well.
I just feel is in that. Has anyone seen Cargo?
Oh no!
No.
Is it the one with is it the horror film with baby in it or something? Where it's got like a
it's sort of like it's like a zombie-esque film. It's like a virus that makes people leak out their eyes and stuff.
Mm.
Like I remember watching it because I was like, oh cool! It was after Hobbit, and I saw that he was in it, and obviously like I like zombie films, so I just stuck it on. It's okay, pretty good, but that's one of the things where he's the main character in it. Yeah, if you not watch it, give it a watch.
I didn't realise he was in The Pirates in an Adventure with Scientists.
I've just seen that, yeah. He was in that.
I love that film.
Pirate with Scarf.
Is that a new film, is it? Never heard of that.
No. Pirates in Adventures with Scientists was I just had it there.
2012.
2012, yeah.
Never heard it.
It's an Aardman, wasn't it? Aardman film.
Okay. That's what I wanted to see.
I can't believe you've not seen that, Matt. That seems like right up your street.
Yeah.
No? What, an animated
watch.
piratey science thing?
It is good. It's one. Jacob loves it. He's watched it like 5 times in a row. Very good. Kids want to watch.
Again, it's not a big part he plays, but it's you'll hear his voice and you'll be like, I know who that is. But yeah. And obviously, like you say, he's in the MCU now. He's been in the Black Panther films. He was in Secret Invasion.
The only problem with that, though, is who isn't in the MCU.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Now,
we haven't made our film yet. We keep trying, but
yeah.
All right, shall we segue on to Dave's next pick? Then, do you reckon?
Dave? Yeah, can do. So my next one is probably Audrey Hepburn, just generally because I see her as a timeless classic, and it's like it's going back, showing the first major film was 1948, but I think Roman Holiday is a film that's always stuck with me, where it's sort of like it was her first major role, and she went straight from pretty much a nobody to a A-list celebrity, and won the Oscar for Best Actress for her role in Roman Holiday. And then sort of like you kind of think of the film, admittedly, majority of the films that she was in, she was always playing the younger, kind of naive girl that falls in love with the older man. And Sabrina was that. There's exactly the same. Funny Face did that. My Fair Lady was exactly the same. Breakfast at Tiffany's as well was kind of like similar, but I think it's just that timeless kind of look, and that she defined a kind of a new era in cinematography that I always kind of go back to and think that she left an impression, and that even you can kind of like see how her style has moved as actors of today kind of like try to imitate what was done back in that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking at on the Wikipedia. Like, she was beautiful. Like, you can tell why. Like, I feel like a lot of the people nowadays, like the actresses, obviously trying to emulate her look.
Yeah.
You look at it and it's weird because you look at the picture. It's from like 1953, and it's like, well, a lot of actresses will show up and they'll be like, they'll go, oh, it's very Hepburn-esque.
Like Dave said, it's sort of timeless. She's got a timeless look that everyone, even now, is trying to impersonate to an extent.
I mean, it's weird, trying to compare her because obviously, like you said, she played the younger, fell in love with the man kind of thing. But I think that was just because of what the time was.
Yeah, it's definitely the film era, as it was still, you're very much in the sort of like the woman plays second fiddle to the man.
Like, can you imagine what, like, if she was born now, kind of thing? If she was around now, she'd probably be dominating some of the box office like films.
What was her last role? Just out of curiosity.
Always Believe. Yeah.
1989.
I was going to say, she was a Sean Connery in a film when he actually had hair, like real hair.
I don't think it was I don't think it was a major part in Always. I think Robert and Marion was one of her last major roles because she did partially retire from, but then she became more sort of like a human rights activist, and she did a lot of work for charities in her later life.
Yeah, Always. Her last motion picture role, Steven Spielberg's Always. Good old Spielberg.
I think that's one of the.
Must have been a small role in it because the poster for it is on the IMDb page for the film, and she's not named as one of the 3 leading stars, so it must have been like you say, Dave, a small role in that. Who was next, Matt?
Oliver.
You've got the rotation. Oliver.
Hello. So following on from what we've spoken about already, I think it's probably appropriate that I pick Robert Downey Jr. next.
Mr. Dude.
Of course, someone that we know from a couple of different roles, Iron Man. We were talking about Sherlock Holmes earlier, which is one of my, different to some people. I loved him as Sherlock Holmes because of that edginess, that being able to think outside the box, which we know Sherlock Holmes is all about, but like in a dark comedic way. There's a couple of funny memes from when he breaks down his fights and he's like, now I'm gonna go for the liver, discombobulate, and do all these different things, which that when I'm off the chat with you guys, I need to send you one where he just keeps discombobulating the whole time, and he just goes discombobulate followed by discombobulate. Yeah,
there's a 10-hour version of discombobulate.
So if we see that in this, that's why. Honestly, so that was one that I really enjoyed. Was it Jude Law that was with him in that?
Yeah, he played Watson.
Yeah, and those two just bounced off each other, which was a natural chemistry that I enjoyed, and it made it more believable, and it drew you in. And to be fair, I don't go to the cinema very often, but when I'd seen that when it first came out, like 2009, 2010-ish, I think it was, then when the second one came out, they had like a 2-year gap. And I feel like it's got more popular now than when it was popular when it came out, I think. And people are appreciating that type of film, what it is now than what it was then. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
Yeah, I feel like I see more people talk about it now, even if it's the meme, because of the meme.
Yeah.
They talk about it more now than they did back when it first came out. But I'd say Robert Downey Jr., I'd say his greatest film of all time. If I had to pick one film that I could watch, I feel like you can't watch any other film he's ever made except for one, I'd pick Tropic Thunder. That is the greatest. I'd put, if we did an episode that said top comedy films, I'd probably put Tropic Thunder at the top. He played that, he played 3 roles. He was literally the dude playing the dude pretending to be another dude. Who else has done that?
And I think the biggest thing with him is that, all of the people I've wrote down, I'd really want to have their life, of course.
Really?
Well, not all of them.
It's been quite hard.
Yeah. But I think his story and kind of where he's come from. Obviously, I've got a couple more people which are a bit more controversial as well coming up as regards recency.
Basically, you want to go and take a load of drugs, get arrested, and become a famous actor.
Sounds like a good Saturday night.
Have you seen the documentary about him and his dad that's on Netflix?
Oh.
It's called Junior. It's really good. I didn't know anything about his dad because his dad was like a director and stuff and a writer for it.
Is that the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, Junior?
We plays his dad, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good documentary. It's really good. You get to learn a lot about Robert Downey Jr. and his dad in that. Yeah.
So it's weird. It's weird because to us, well, to me anyway, I'm sure it's the same for you. Robert Downey Sr. Who is that guy?
Yeah, I had no idea who it was.
I didn't know him. So it's weird to think that, like, you know, his dad was famous enough to make him famous.
Yeah.
But to me, he's the famous one.
Mm.
And I'm sure, let's say Robert Downey Jr. had a kid that was called Robert Downey Jr. Jr.
Maybe the third, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Robert Downey the third.
Robert Downey.
Or Robert Downey Jr. the second.
All that, yeah.
Oh.
You know, like my kids would probably grow up and be like, who's Robert Downey Jr.? I don't know who that is. I know Robert Downey Jr. Jr.
And if your kids were to ever turn around and go, who is Robert Downey Jr., I hope you would slap them.
Oh, yeah. No slap. It'd be choke slam.
The question is, what movie would you start them on?
Tropic Thunder. I'd say.
Obviously, yes.
I'd say he's only been
I'm the dude playing another dude.
I say he's only been in one film. This film, watch it over and over again. Maybe I'm on one.
The problem is you can't make Tropic Thunder today.
No.
It's one of them films that is like.
Even
when it came out, when was Tropic Thunder? 2008. Even in 2008, there were some people going, "Ooh,
it was
borderline." Then, wasn't it?
God, that and Iron Man came out in the same year.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Incredible.
What
a comeback for Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. At that point, Marvel weren't really bothered about the franchise, you know. So having Robert Downey Jr. starring Tropic Thunder and Iron Man, it's like, it's fine. It's now that Marvel are kind of looking back, going,
this
"Oh
Marvel
god,
thing's not going to go anywhere, right?"
See Robert Downey Jr. in films like Iron Man, Tropic Thunder, films that you remember and you love. Oh dear.
It's mad.
Just quickly before we move on to JJ's next pick, obviously, RDJ is back next year in Avengers Doomsday. Just
confusingly,
without getting into it too much, what are people's thoughts on that? Is that a good move or is that a desperate move from Marvel?
I feel like unless they explain it really, really well, it's a desperate move of no one cares about the films anymore. Get Robert Downey Jr. back. Let's pay, Chris Hemsworth a lot of money to come back. Just throw money at it until it works again.
Yeah.
And it's either going to be amazing, which I hope it will, or it's going to be awful.
Mm.
I think I'm in a similar kind of mindset to it. It's like Doctor Who at the moment as well, where they're just like, well, let's recycle David Tennant because numbers are dropping off. And then, this series really didn't go well. Let's throw Billy Piper in because people remember it. It's a nostalgia hit of, like we were discussing earlier, about sort of like movies from the 90s where Hollywood's just rehashing the same movie and sending it out again and again and again because they've run out of things to write about. I know where they're coming from with how Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom, etc. But yeah, I agree with you, JJ. I'm not particularly bothered. I think after sort of like the end of the era when they did Endgame, etc., it kind of felt like that was the natural point of give it a couple of years off, guys. The story's ended, and then you can build back and you start again. Rather than what they did, they went straight into phase 2. So you had this massive build up, and you've just dropped off. And now that no one's bothered anymore because the action ended, which is like you say, they brought back Downey Jr. to kind of flog that dead horse, see how much more money we can get out of it. But hopefully, it'll prove everyone wrong.
Pays off. I hope
I'd love to be proved wrong. I would.
Do you think when they came up, they had this idea in their mind? Do you think they told Downey Jr. anything before, like, they've done it, or they've just gone, guess what? Do you want to make some cash? We want to make some cash. Let's do it together, and then we're just going to do it.
They just slid a piece of paper across the table with like 150 million on it, and he went, "Cool, let's do whatever."
Zero to that.
Yeah, there is
more zeros to that.
There is a potential that Tony Stark could have become Doctor Doom in an alternate dimension. There's nothing against it. So there may have been an idea for it, but it may have been one of those.
In one of the comics, in one of the Iron Man runs, I think Doom is a variant of Stark, or Stark is a variant of Doom, one of the others. Yeah. But
and it's one of them ideas that you kind of think to yourself, someone had the idea and they put it on the shelf and said, "Oh, this might work," and now they've gone, "Oh, quick, let's dust off what's on the top shelf. That might work. Yeah, let's run with that one.
Let's go with Plan B."
I think the Russos or something have said that Stark's death is like integral to the story or something, like it plays into why he is Doom, you know what I mean? But I don't know what that means exactly.
It's something to do with it gets mentioned in obviously Deadpool and Wolverine about anchor beings. When they die, apparently Stark is an anchor being. And one of the running theories I'm hearing at the moment is that the reason that this Tony Stark becomes Doom is that he fails to kill Thanos with his snap. And then because he fails to save the universe, he then goes on to be Doom. And then that's his new way of trying to save not just his universe, but the multiverse. So that's why he does that. That's a running theory that I've heard at the moment.
The one I've seen is that he didn't die. The one I saw was that, obviously there's loads of multiverses. And that when he did snap, he didn't die. And he carried on, and obviously, like being all scarred, and
the trauma,
got the mask because he's got the scar, and he didn't save Pepper and all stuff like this. So it's obviously the one about how, if you think about it, Tony was a bit weird like that in the story. Like he was against, he was against Captain America with the what was it called, the thingy. Power Registration Act, and there was loads of stuff where he was kind of like on the edge. He was kind of like riding that grey zone. He wasn't good or evil, and this could be like a carry on of that, where he believes that what he's doing is right because he always has. He's always believed that he's doing the right thing, and like when he came back from space, obviously he was malnourished and all proper thingy, and he was very aggressive towards Captain America and everyone else. So if he survived the snap and still had the gauntlet, then we could have gone that way. Yeah.
Well, it's the idea of like having like a suit of armor around the world. That's what he says in Age of Ultron. Yeah. Like it's that concept, but like is Doom kind of taking it to the universe? Level. You know what I mean? Like trying to protect the whole like multiverse kind of thing. So
it could be that he's going between multiverses and doing what he thinks is right, but obviously he's murdering everyone. You're against me, so you're, from his self-righteousness, must be thinking, if you're against me, you're evil.
He's got that Anakin line in the background who goes going, "You're evil with me, or you're my enemy." We'll find out next year.
Yeah. We could go on forever about that, so we'll jump to JJ's next choice quickly before we digress too much.
Cool. My next choice is good old Nicolas Cage. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I think he could be one of the greatest actors of all time. Like there is so many films that I've seen that you cannot guess. If you see a Nicolas Cage film, can you ever guess how it's going to go? No, that is the answer. There's a film where he is a buffalo herder.
I can tell you one thing: there'll be a lot of overacting in it.
Yeah,
he's a compulsive overactor.
No, then again, I've seen some films where he's been quite reserved, and I was like, "Where's the cage? Where's the rage in the cage? What's going on?" Like, I'd say
you have to tell me what those films are because I've never seen them.
Right, I'm just scrolling through because there's going to be about 30 pages of films because obviously he's done.
Yeah, Willy's Wonderland is the one where he doesn't speak.
Yeah, see, you can't.
Which is the Five Nights at Freddy's rip-off that released just before Five Nights at Freddy's, and I think it's so much better.
So, has anyone seen Vampire's Kiss?
Vampire's Kiss.
That was one of his first films, and I genuinely think he didn't read the script. There's a bit where like there's a woman and she's supposed to like she's a admin person, and it's like where is this document, and she's like, oh, I don't know, and it's like, well, you're supposed to put in alphabetical order, like A B C D E F G H I J K, and he absolutely just reading the alphabet. He destroys reading the alphabet. He makes that a moment, and he's running through the middle of like Los Angeles or something, going, I'm a vampire, and they didn't. Obviously, this was like no budget, so you can see the people going, why is this guy just running through the middle of Los Angeles thinking he's a vampire? He's been in Face Off. That's an incredible film because who's he with? He's with
John Travolta, isn't it?
Yeah. John Travolta I think that is probably the best acting John Travolta's ever done in his career because he had to pretend to be Nicolas Cage.
Who's pretending to be him.
But Nick Cage does a very good job of playing John Travolta in that film.
And then John Travolta, imagine if someone came up to you and said, I want you to be Nicolas Cage, you'd be like, I'm screwed. How am I supposed to be Nicolas Cage? He's done Gone in 60 Seconds, National Treasure. Obviously, he did the incredible version of, where is it?
Wicker Man.
Yeah. Please!
No.
That film is solely held up by him. If that was any other actor, it would be so boring.
Have you guys
enjoy the original version of Wicker Man. I've never ever watched the Nick Cage version because I enjoy the first one.
If you ever watch the Nicolas Cage version, you would never watch the original ever again. He comes in and pinches this woman just runs in, just literally gives her a right hook. It's incredible. It's just incredible. He did Lord of War. That's an amazing film. Ghost Rider. He was one of the original Marvel. He was going to play Superman at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, wasn't it? Was it Spider-Man?
No, Superman.
Superman.
So he voices Spider Noir, but he was going to be Superman.
Spider Noir TV show now, isn't there? So he's doing that as well.
One of the films that I can actually stand Nicolas Cage in is Kick-Ass.
Oh yeah,
I enjoy him in Kick-Ass. He's Big Daddy.
He's basically just doing an Adam West impression, isn't he, when he's Big Daddy?
Pretty much. I watched. Has anyone seen Dream Scenario?
No.
Where he shaved his head, but just like the top bit. And he shows up in people's dreams.
Oh, okay.
More like a nightmare.
I would say one of the films that I watched, and it was one of those where me and Jade watched it, and afterwards we were like, "What just happened? What have I even watched?" Is a film called Mandy.
It's about Pig.
No, that's called Pig.
Oh, obviously.
No, Mandy.
Is Mandy the zombie one? No.
Mandy's the one where it's kind of like Hellraiser. Ooh. There's like weird biker demon people, and then he goes on a rampage killing them all.
Oh.
And he takes like demon cocaine.
course.
And yeah, it's.
Did Nicolas Cage write that for himself because that's what he wanted to do that year?
No, there's a film where what is it called? Oh, he was in Longlegs the other year.
Oh God, yeah, that film's crazy.
No, he's in one. Oh, that's it. Prisoners of the Ghostland, where he's a samurai.
Of course he is.
Well, there's also Outcast. I think Outcast is my all-time favourite Nicolas Cage movie. It's Nicolas Cage, Hayden Christensen, and he plays a Knight Templar that ends up in China.
Yeah.
But there's one scene where he ends up being for some reason time goes forwards and he loses an eye, but they never put him in an eye patch, and he's just squinting for the entire thing. It's like and he ends up with two snakes wrapped around his wrists. It's like snake hands. Like
Exactly. What other film can you say has got that? I think one film that I really rate him for is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Not seen
where he plays himself.
He plays himself, and it's like
Pascal's his biggest fan.
Yeah. And he's just. I remember putting it on, and I was like, "This is ridiculous," because he's playing himself, but he knows how to play an exaggerated version. As exaggerated as he is, he knows
he's
how
just
to
exaggerating himself more.
Yeah, he knows how to play himself because he plays a younger version of himself and then kisses himself. It was my missus started watching it and then fell asleep because she'd worked a couple of shifts in a row. So I'm just sat there watching it by myself going, Nicolas Cage is kissing a younger version of himself. And I looked over like, oh, it's just me watching this. It's just, yeah. I mean, if I could put him, I'd probably put him as either number 1 or number 2 of greatest actors. It's just insane. Absolutely insane.
I remember a couple of years ago, I remember when Renfield came out and I wanted to really go and see it in the cinema. And I said to my girlfriend, I said, I think this film's going to be really bad if Nicolas Cage isn't good as Dracula in this. Because if not, the plot of this, it looks terrible. Where he owes a lot to Renfield and he's meant to be Dracula. And I feel like Nicolas Cage was just ticking off a list that he hadn't been this character yet. And he was like, well, I need to be Dracula at some point, so let's just make myself Dracula. And even though he's not the main character in it, really, you see him, come back to all the time. And I was just like, he has to carry this, and he did.
Yeah,
just to keep me in there.
Agree. I think with Renfield, I would love to see a prequel where it is the Nick Cage Dracula, because I really enjoyed his version of Dracula.
He is, if he's in a film, he's one of those where even if he's not the main guy, you're watching him to see what he's doing, like his facial expressions or the way he moves, or just, he could come in and say one line and you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to quote that one line.
I think all that you've kind of spoke about and all these different things, when you're about to watch a Nicolas Cage film, you could put loads of different coloured pills in front of you and you go, which pill are we going to have today to watch Nicolas Cage to have all these different emotions? And at the end of it, you'll have picked the wrong colour because it'll have completely gone the opposite way of what you thought he was going to be in that film.
I think, it's going to be crazy in this film, and it'll just be reserved but still interesting. And then you go, this he can't be, over the top because he's Dracula is a, gothic icon, and he'll just be insane.
Nicolas Cage, man, timeless.
There's bound to be one of us that picked him. Bound to be one of us.
I'm going to run off for a pee. So
how dare you? Right, I'll segue on to one of mine then while you're gone.
I love it how Matt has to follow up JJ's picks. We've had Arnold, we've had Nick Cage.
That's hard.
Matt's trying to come up with serious actors, and JJ's following JJ's.
No, he's the. To be fair, not. Well, some of mine can be funny, but they're not as insane as Nicolas Cage. I'm not gonna lie.
Go on.
Now it's time for something completely different. I've got Robert Pattinson because I feel like he, over the last few years, like 5 or 10 years, he's kind of broken out away from the ridiculous Twilight films. And
what's wrong with sparkly vampires?
Say
Look
it.
at my skin. Look at my
Say
skin.
so overdramatic. Took him a long time to become a bat, though, didn't it? Say he's a vampire, isn't it?
You know, when you wrote notes about that, did you say it must include this line?
No.
No. Completely unscripted.
Off the cuff. Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just I really enjoy him as an actor, to be fair. I think he's carved out quite a good little back catalogue of films, to be fair. I enjoy his Bruce Wayne and Batman. I think I'm interested to see where that character goes. I like him in the Christopher Nolan films that he's been in so far. I think he's in the new one that's coming out.
Yeah, he's going to be in Odyssey.
He's good in Tennant. I like the character that he plays in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just got quite a good, he's got like a confidence to him that's quite enjoyed. To be fair.
Did you see him in The Lighthouse?
No, but I've heard it's like mental.
Yes. Now it's me and Amy went to watch it at Derby Quad because I think it wasn't being shown at the showcase or anything like that. Obviously, it's Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. And we didn't know much about it, and we walked in, and it's all in black and white and whatnot. And then we walked out, and we were like, "What the hell have we just watched?"
But in like a good way, or?
It was enjoyable, but it's just like what you definitely need like 4 or 5 watches before you even think, "Okay, I kind of understand what's going on." But it is a good film. It's just like,
is it like super art housey then, or?
It's very artistic the way it's been shot and filmed, but the plot line was just you can't figure out which one of them is the one that's actually gone insane because obviously Willem Dafoe's just insane in everything he's in. But even Robert Pattinson plays crazy rather well. It's certainly one to watch if you haven't seen it.
Do you feel with someone like Robert Pattinson, because he's known for such a specific role, that he's taking roles now just to diversify to try and get away from that typecast that we've talked about already?
I think he is, yeah. I think he's trying to avoid anything like Twilight again.
Yeah.
But I suppose that's a good thing, though, because then it's allowing him to develop his acting range. Because like I said, I really questioned it to begin with when he was cast as Batman. I was like, no. But I actually agree with Matt. His Batman's very good.
Very good, yeah. I think, especially because of everyone really idolizes how they want Batman to be, and we have our favorite Batman's favorite villains and stuff like that. And to have something like that, and him coming in on a period where they really needed to get it right, I think it was important that they did, and I haven't heard any bad things about it since. So
yeah,
I think it's a good modern take on the character. I think.
Yeah, and like I say, he's good in Tennant as well. And that's one of the films where that and obviously his take on Bruce Wayne, I think, is one of the reasons why he's one of the names that are now being considered to be the next Bond.
Is it? I haven't heard that.
I think a few people have linked him to it. I don't think he's a strong contender, but I think they've looked at it and they've gone, well, he's played obviously Bruce Wayne, who's obviously a billionaire type thing, but then he was obviously using Tenet and other things, and like he might be able to pull off the whole spy thing. We'll see, but I don't think he's a strong favourite.
I think he'll become a bit of a Christopher Nolan staple now. I can see him fitting into lots of Christopher Nolan-y films.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like him. He's grown on me, definitely, since Twilight.
Goblet of Fire.
Yeah. I thought he was quite good in that role. When you go back and watch him, he was alright.
It's Cedric Diggory before he gets killed.
Poor Cedric.
My boy. My boy.
God, that guy, he hammed up that line, didn't he? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I'm not too big on Harry Potter, but I'm going to a party next year which is Harry Potter themed, and I got given a character to be, and I got him. I got Cedric Diggory.
Really?
You just got to turn up. You just got to turn up just dressed in
like a cardigan thing or something.
I'd go with the uniform thing that he's wearing at the end of the film when they're going through the maze, and then at any point just sort of have like LED strips underneath your sleeves or something, and just randomly just click it and it just glows green and just fall to the floor as if you've just been killed, hit by the killing curse.
That's quite good. Be quite a good Halloween costume. That would be dead Diggory.
Dead Diggory.
Yeah, nice.
Like
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then just have you like your phone just on recording. Just have that, my boy, just play after you fall to the ground.
But yeah, don't know what everyone else thinks about Robert Pattinson. But, yeah.
It's an interesting take. I might not.
He's all right.
Wouldn't have been one of my picks, but he's like I say, he's not bad.
But he's still young. He's got time.
Yeah.
So, the films he's been in the past couple of years have been more interesting. Like he was in what's it called? The one where he's on the island is with Willem Dafoe.
Lighthouse, that's the one I mentioned. Yeah, you've seen that?
Yeah. That's interesting. You know what I mean? He's picked some good films. So I think he's going to be one of those where, in like 10, 20 years' time, we'll be talking about him a lot differently.
Do you think he'd be more like a Gary Oldman, where he's like good in a lot of like character roles? You know what I mean? Not like a main character, I don't think. Because you think Gary Oldman, you don't really think of the films where he's been the main character, do you? You always think he's been a really good character in this and a really good character in that. And I think
I can't say there's any films where I go, yes, Gary Oldman is the top billed actor, but it's not a bad thing.
No. Yeah, I think he'll be more like one of them.
If you're becoming the more memorable person from that film when you've got second billing, it just shows how good of a job you've done.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah. Oh, Pats. No, Lewis. Next.
Pick number 3.
Yeah.
David Tennant.
Yay.
And not just because he's obviously been in Doctor Who. I am a Doctor Who fan. I think he's an actor that's actually got quite decent range. He can adapt quite well. He does comedy rather good. He can be very, very intense. He does crazy very well.
He does.
You look at some of his characters and he can do crazy really, really well. He's done obviously serious things. There was obviously like Broadchurch on ITV where he plays the detective. Like he got very, very well received for that. Obviously, he's been he does quite a lot. He's done quite a lot on stage. His Hamlet was probably quite well received as well. He's done quite a lot of Shakespeare and things like that. Yeah, I just think he's a good actor. I really enjoy him.
I do as well. Did you know he's got an extra toe on his right foot?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
When I met him, that's not the sort of thing that I thought about asking him. And it's like, oh, hi, David. Sorry, can I have a look at your foot?
I think you met him. That's cool.
I've had a picture of David Tennant.
What did you ask him?
Do you have any extra fingers?
I can't remember now, Matt. It was 10, 12 years ago now.
Oh, boo.
So yeah, but now I've got a picture of him and Billy Piper together.
That's cool.
But you didn't look at their feet.
No, they were both wearing shoes.
Billy Piper's had a bit of a resurgence as well, hasn't she, recently? She's in quite a few things now.
Yeah, she's in Wednesday season 2, and she's now coming back into Doctor Who.
She's been on Sky quite a lot as well in a few things.
She's done a few drama series and stuff, hasn't she? Yeah. But no, yeah, David Tennant is. I like him. Obviously, I say he's. I wouldn't say he's my favourite Doctor. He's up there in the list, but he's not my favourite one. But I liked him as Kilgrave in Jessica Jones. I thought he was really good as
Kilgrave.
Such a good bad guy in that.
Really good.
Especially when sort of like he tries to be this sophisticated individual, and when the mask slips and you see how dark he actually is, he portrays Kilgrave very well in that.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen Bad Samaritan?
Yes.
No.
I think
I didn't even know he was in it. It was like me and Jade just put it on. It's basically they break into this. They're like petty thieves, and they break into this guy's house, who's David Tennant's house, and then they like find, if I can remember right, they find someone like tied up in one of the rooms.
Yeah.
They realise that he's a messed up guy, and then they kind of play in this like cat and mouse game of him knowing that someone's been in his house and all stuff like this, and he plays the proper. That's the thing where he plays crazy really well.
Mm.
He's a vicar, isn't he? And then I think the one that you think that you're talking, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's an accident that ends up in that situation, and then he eventually gets done for murder because of how he reacts during the whole thing.
He's also in obviously Good Omens. That's been well received.
I want to watch that. One of those things that's been on my list, not the main list. The kind of like you see it and you think, I do need to watch that.
Yeah. Obviously, he voices Huang in Star Wars.
Oh yeah. I forget about that.
So he's the droid in the Jedi lightsaber teaching droid in that.
I want to watch him in that serial killer one, Des.
Oh yeah, saw a bit of that.
Yes, I saw.
He does a lot of like. It's good you picked David Tennant because he's not like a film actor, really, is he?
No, he's very much more sort of your TV side of things.
You need that because not everyone can be a film actor, but sometimes these kind of series actors are better.
They get more time to develop the character, though, don't they? It's over the course of a series, you've got much more time to develop that character and sort of get in the headspace where you think they need to be. But yeah, he's just one of those ones I enjoy.
Intense.
Yes, he can be very, very intense and plays crazy very well.
Mm. Another Harry Potter actor as well.
Yes, he was in the Goblet of Fire.
Very
Barty Crouch Jr.
Barty Crouch Jr. Again, it's just a very small cameo in that film, but Dave is Dave next.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Keanu Reeves next for mine.
Okay.
Wow.
Because I think he's often sold short, but I love all of the films that he's in. There's been the odd couple where you kind of think yourself, but I think he's actually a very, very good actor. And obviously, you think of Neo and The Matrix. That was kind of like his defining role, but he was performing for years before that. And just how he comes across, like we were discussing earlier with Mark Hamill, he's genuinely a nice human being.
I was
so you have this respect for him.
I love him more for just him in his roles. Like, I prefer, even if he's not the best in a film, I'll still want to watch it and support it just because he's an amazing human.
Bill and Ted. Love Bill and Ted. Point Break.
Point Break.
Speed. So many good ones. 90s icon.
John Wick now, isn't he, as well?
Yeah. John Wick's kind of like what he's moved into, which is it's kind of like gone on a similar route of what Liam Neeson did.
Yeah,
obviously you kind of like you do a lot of your films, then you move into the grizzled veteran coming back for one last one last mission, but.
Oh, it's not one now, is it?
One last mission.
4 or 5 now.
4, but it's just how it's sort of like Cyberpunk 2077. Admittedly, the character he plays is similar. Johnny Silverhand is similar in a kind of way to kind of Neo, but you initially you hate Johnny Silverhand because of how he goes about it, but then you kind of feel how Keanu got into the role and how he portrays the character, and you understand the frustration and the lines that he delivers. You realise that actually this guy is a pretty good human being. Well, yeah, but he's got a depth of character about him.
I mean, the only film I'd say and be like, it was not good is Bram Stoker's Dracula. The line delivery and accent were
great. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
The
accent kind of jumps.
What accent was he trying to do? I don't remember.
English.
I think it was supposed to be English.
I need to rewatch that to see that now.
Yeah, he's not. He's Jonathan Harker, isn't he? In
yes,
that? Yeah, he's not the best.
I'd say he is that role is in line with Mark Wahlberg in, is it The Happening? Is that what it's called, The Happening?
I've never seen that. I've heard it's really bad though.
Oh, you're gonna kill me, aren't you? What? Me? No. It's on that level. But everything else, love him.
I mean, I really like Constantine. I would love to have seen Keanu Reeves as a Constantine. It didn't do well when it came out, but I mean, it had potential.
I love
the
that
problem
film.
is people just compared it to The Matrix and said, "Oh, he's just playing Neo." Well, like, yes and no.
That's got one of my favourite incarnations of the devil. I love that film for that. They were on about bringing it back, weren't they?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
They're still talking about doing a sequel.
There's like an Elseworlds kind of DC thing, yeah.
He's the one actor whose name always gets linked when anyone ever talks about it with Darth Revan. He's the only one that ever sort of gets linked to playing that character.
It's just because of that. It's because of that build, the aura that you've got to have when he's around, and it just oozes and speaks when he needs to speak, silent when you need to be silent, and that's just
I could see Keanu Reeves as Darth Revan, like you say, exactly for that. Is that he doesn't need to say anything to make his presence known.
Yeah.
But when he does speak, he's got that level. Especially now, I think he's definitely matured into kind of like the role. I love sort of like John Wick. Just the whole character concept of it. It's just Keanu Reeves killing people, but it's Keanu. You still go back and watch it every time. And you're like, yeah, I love this film.
Yeah, but he counts the bullets.
Yeah. But it's the amount of when you actually look at it, the amount of detail and dedication that Keanu Reeves goes into the role is that he spent something like 400 hours of sort of like training on a range with handguns, and then 400 hours with rifles and 400 hours with shotguns to know all of those things. So when you watch it in the movie, like you say, is he counts the bullets and he does certain things with the guns to check to make sure. Like I think Colt 1911, it jams fairly regularly. So in the movie, he specifically checks it to make sure that it hasn't jammed. Things like that. He's so dedicated into the role he gets into.
Little details that help to add to the realism into him.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember watching, and my girlfriend really loves Toy Story, and in the fourth one, and he plays Duke Boom. Is that? And he just comes in, and again, one of those like aura defining. He's just like that. He knew before he even started speaking that was going to be Keanu Reeves' character. He comes in on the bike, and you just do kaboom here. And I remember reading after he did that like the next year that SpongeBob film was coming out, and there was loads of different roles that he was linked with, and he said no to all these roles just so he could star in this SpongeBob film for like 5 minutes. and I was like, whatever decision Keanu Reeves wants to make, I'm going to support Keanu Reeves.
I'm behind him.
Love it.
Oliver, what's your third pick?
Well, I feel really hard done by after like JJ's been doing some really good ones, and then Matt's had to follow. Like me following Keanu Reeves is going to be really hard. So I think I'm going to go with Joaquin Phoenix next.
Oh,
and I really like Joaquin Phoenix, not just because of the Joker. Obviously, he has the star a role in Gladiator, and to be fair, one of my favorite films growing up as a kid was Brother Bear, where he does one of the bears, Kenai, from that, and it's again another feel good film. Which when you realise that it's him after with like the voice that he does, I was quite happy with that because I never saw Joker when it first came out. I kind of let it like stew for a little bit. Sometimes, unless I'm really excited, I like to let people have the hype and see what they want to say about films. And then when it's died down, I'll then watch it and then I'll make my own assumptions, not being influenced.
Yeah.
And I actually saw it when I was going to Florida on the plane, and I just forgot I forgot I was on a plane. I forgot how long I'd been flying just because I was engrossed to this really small TV screen on the back of this chair because of his performance of, the dedication of losing all of that weight, literally like coming to the point of like death, like with that. And for them to pitch it to him again, to do it again is like crazy to me. Obviously the second one didn't hit as much if you've seen it. It had its moments, but it was more of like a musical kind of thing than serious.
I've still not seen the second one.
No,
I've purposely avoided it from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lady Gaga's like Harley Quinn was good, but then they were like, well, because it's Lady Gaga, let's just add some songs in and like create their relationship around like they don't get to see each other all the time, but they're singing the same songs or they're using each other's words, and it was a bit, I don't know.
I mean, I like him, and obviously I brought up in one of the other episodes, Her.
Yeah.
Her, yeah.
I love him in that, and it's he just plays. He's not it's exceptional character in that, but he plays it really well. Like he relays the feelings and everything really well. And I don't know if anyone's seen it, but there is actually a video where if you record it upside down, there's a bit, and his chin makes like a face.
How did you come about this? Was you the only one, or did you read something in the comments and they were like, "Hey,
I saw
check this out"?
I saw a video. It's like, Joaquin Phoenix's chin in Her makes like an angry face, and someone's recording it, and it's stuck with me ever since. So I can't look at it. But yeah, he's a good actor. His chin is really good in that film.
No. Is that in the credits?
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix's chin, angry face man.
I think it's like Gladiator, isn't it? Because he plays the Emperor. But he generally he's a decent, he's a fairly decent human being. But you hate Commodus in Gladiator, and you're rooting for the actual final fight for him to finally be killed. And even in the fight, it's sort of like you genuinely detest him. And I think some of the lines in that are ad-libbed. I think there's one of the scenes where he screams in sort of like in the dining when they're eating, and the female actors, I can't remember her name, but her reaction is genuine because that was completely unscripted. But it was just how he got into the mindset of Commodus, and that this is what he wanted to portray him as. I think some spontaneous lines like that really define characters, as we're discussing earlier offline about Leonardo DiCaprio and Django Unchained. That whole scene where he cuts his hand, that was completely unscripted, but he just carried on running it, and it makes the scene so much more intense, dramatic and in the moment.
Yeah, I think he's known as quite a unconventional actor, isn't he? I think, to be fair, he does. He gets quite deep into his roles, doesn't he?
I think when you look at him and you look at the time frame, we've talked about actors that have got so many pages, and it's because certain roles have to be not fitted for him, but he's more precise on what he wants to do and how he can portray those roles, which is why he maybe has one film a year or one every other year or something like that because of it.
Yeah, I was just looking through his credit list on IMDb, and compared to some of the others that we've spoken about so far, his list is so much smaller than everybody else's. So, like you say, it shows that he's picking specific roles that he feels he can do justice to.
Definitely doesn't do it for the money.
So that helps.
I forgot he played Napoleon as well.
Yeah,
that was recently. Yeah, I think.
He did Walk the Line. He was Johnny Cash as well, wasn't he? In the biopic of that. Okay, so JJ, who are you going to go with that Matt's got to follow up?
My next is Bradley Cooper.
Okay.
I genuinely think he's also another one of those top actors. He's incredible. Like, you think one of his main things that you saw him in was Hangover. He was in the Hangover trilogy, and it was like, he's kind of a bit of the straight man in the Hangover. He's not zany and crazy in it. And then he shows up in one of my favourite films, Limitless. Like, it's I love sci-fi kind of things, and that whole thing of where he's just this waster who's he's just don't cut his hair, don't really try anything in his life, he don't do anything, and then he takes this pill and he's super smart, and I like that film. But then one of the films that I thought was just blew me out of the water that he was in was Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. I love that.
Like, that film is amazing. I watched it again probably last year with Jade because she'd never seen it, and it's one of those that makes me want tear up because it's quite emotional, and he's just a good actor for showing emotion and stuff like that. And obviously the weird one is Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't even know he was in it. Until it came up and it was the end, and it says Bradley Cooper. I was like, Bradley Cooper's in this film? I was like, oh, he's Rocket. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I always forget.
He's in American Hustle, which is all right. American Sniper, that was quite good.
Very, very intense, that one.
It was. He plays that kind of war-torn hero that's got PTSD and stuff like that. He plays that well. And then the other film that proper made me whoa, he's incredible. He's got depth. Is A Star Is Born.
Mm-hmm. Of course,
he can actually sing as well.
That was the thing where he plays this this southern drawl, and he's got this. I saw an interview where it was Lady Gaga, and she's saying that they kind of fell in love in real life, kind of thing. Just his characters, because he played it so well, and they were doing he was coming out at her gigs and they were singing Shallow together and stuff like that. And then when the shooting was over, he just stopped being that character, and she said she felt loss because he was so in that character. And that's another one of those films like Silver Linings Playbook, where I think me and Jade were watching it on a Sunday or something, and just the end of Star Is Born, we were fine all the way through. It's emotional and stuff like that, and then the last 5 minutes of the film, we're both sat crying our eyes out. And it just gets you, it proper gets you, the last thing, and it's because of how well he plays it, and he's this washed up singer, and just I don't know, it's just I just feel like he is a really good actor, and I wish he'd be in more stuff. I think he's in Isn't he in a film where he plays like a chef or something as well?
I believe so, yes. Thank you.
He's in Wedding Crashers as well. He's in quite a few things. It's kind of like, you don't really realise he's in that. But Silver Linings Playbook, American Hustle, American Sniper, Burnt. I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, and I can't remember much about that. But I remember you played it really well. Of like, this stressed out, strung out for the chef. Yeah, that's. I pick him as my other one.
Yeah, good choice. To be fair, I think I'm gonna pair my last two up together because they're in a film together recently, so that's kind of like a cheat. But they're in a similar vein, to be fair, where they're like really like doing a lot of emotional things, and they're good at being vulnerable. And mine are Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh.
I want to watch that.
Who We Live in Time. I watched it. When did I watch it? Like a month ago or something like that. Me and Carly sat and watched it, and that's a really, really good film. It's very like raw and like realistic in like the plot and what happens in it and what it's about, and their characters are just so like authentic.
They seem it in the interviews I've seen. They seem very like close and stuff like that. But the main question is, Matt, the hair. How is it?
She has a few hairstyles in the film actually. They're all really good. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, right. I'm watching that tonight.
Good hair game.
Good hair game.
Yeah.
Good.
I just really enjoy Andrew Garfield and everything. He just like gives out a really kind of like a vulnerability that you kind of, I don't know, he's kind of like a new kind of actor, you know what I mean, where like he's very I don't know,
I find him very likable.
Yeah, like you're immediately like warm to him, you know what I mean? He's got like a friendly face. I think that kind of draws you in to whoever is playing, I think. Like I really enjoy.
There's a new one that's I've seen a trailer when I went to see Weapons the other weekend. Is with I can't remember who it is. It's an older actress, and he looks like he plays kind of a bit more crazy kind of guy, and that like a bit more unlikable. I can't remember what it is.
I remember what you're on about. I think I know what you're on about, but I can't think what it's called. But it does look good. But yeah, I enjoy his Spider-Man and Peter Parker. It's probably one of my favourites.
I really liked.
I was just going to say, I think his portrayal of Spider-Man and Peter Parker is probably my favourite.
Yeah,
I know overall
it means a lot.
Tobey Maguire's, but his films may not have been overly great, but I think he's the best Spider-Man and Peter Parker we've got because of the way he performs it.
Yeah, I like that role means a lot to him as well. Like you see like pictures of him as like a kid and stuff, like dressed as Spider-Man and stuff, and like it means so much to him, like that he got to play that character and stuff. And it's quite a poignant moment as well when he saves MJ in No Way Home as well, because like what's happened to that character and stuff, and like I just love so. I don't know. I really like it.
Yeah, that was the thing when I told you I'm crap with names at the minute. What's his name took over as Spider-Man, and it took me a while to warm to him because I liked Andrew Garfield so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know that he didn't. Do you guys know about what happened? Why Amazing Spider-Man 3 didn't happen? He was apparently late to a meeting with like the Sony boss, and obviously they're Japanese, so they're very much you will be on time, you'll be respectful, and all this. So because he was late, they took it as offence and basically said we're not doing Amazing Spider-Man 3.
I did not know that.
And we've done Tom Holland. That's it. Yeah, they moved on and did obviously Tom Holland instead, and he's all right as Peter Parker, but I still, I really liked Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
I'd really liked him to come back, to be fair, and do like an alternate story with like his Peter Parker. I'd really enjoy it. I think
there's no reason why they couldn't. Like they could do the MCU like Spider-Man that carries on, and just do Amazing Spider-Man 3 with just Sony with Andrew Garfield. They could have them run concurrently.
I have actually started reading a Spider-Man comic where it actually kind of looks like Andrew Garfield as well. It's kind of funny. It's the Ultimate Spider-Man storyline where in that universe, like all the heroes have been like erased somehow. Like you don't know how yet. You haven't found that out. But like Peter Parker gets like this orb that's from like a Tony Stark from a different universe, and it has the spider in it, and he doesn't become Spider-Man until like he's an adult, and he's like married to Mary Jane, and he's got kids and everything. And like he comes Peter Parker later, so I could definitely see Andrew Garfield kind of being that Spider-Man, and like him kind of rediscovering that he was a hero kind of thing. I think that'd be really good and really interesting.
Like what they did with Andrew Garfield was they had, they didn't have MJ in that.
Yeah.
Gwen.
So they could just carry on and have, skip what happened and just go, here we go, we're back in the story with MJ in it now, and Andrew Garfield's obviously older than he was in that, and just carry it on from there. They could easily do it.
It'd be cool. I'm kind of hoping, this whole reset thing that they're doing, I'm kind of hoping that they kind of steer away from having an overarching story for a bit and just do go back to doing single stories, like have have one or two like Spider-Man films but don't tie it to anything, or like do another Fantastic Four and have that in a different thing. I don't want them to keep, we're moving towards this all the time. I would rather them just have separate stories for like 5 years, you know what I mean?
It's like the comic books don't all stick to, everything that's going on is happening in that comic and this comic, and it all interlinks. They only do that for like major storylines like Invasion and Civil War and stuff like that. Like if every other comic, it's all insular. It's got nothing to do with what's going on in, Wolverine's doing some other thing like fighting in the Vietnam War or something, and then you go and read X-Men and he's there as well, but he's doing whatever's going on in there. They're trying to make everything so, have you watched Loki? Have you watched this? Have you watched that? And it all needs to link in. They need to just forget about all that and just do stories that make sense, and you can watch that film without watching 50 other films.
Yeah, there still needs to be this level of continuity to link them all back. But yeah, like you say, is that there's too much. You have to watch every single thing of Marvel's to understand what's going on. If you miss one episode of one series, potentially you can have a massive plot hole and you don't understand where it's come from.
Well, when me and Matt went to watch Thunderbolts, I enjoyed it. And obviously when we got in the car, Matt was like, so do you know who that Captain America guy is? And I was like, never seen him before in my life. But it still made sense and it still worked. I got the gist.
Yeah. And Florence Pugh is also in that as well. So
I was going to say, let's segue that back to Florence Pugh because
yeah, she's really good in that film though. She's like the anchor point of that film. I think she really carries it really well.
She's the anchor being.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
she's getting quite a few roles at the moment. Again, she's one of those sort of go-to actors at the moment, isn't she? She's
in
definitely a rising star
in the Dune series, which I can't. Yeah, I really enjoy. She's got quite a magnetism, I think, as an actress. To be fair, kind of like drawn to her.
And her hair's good.
All about the hair.
But yeah, she's quite diverse as well. She's been in horror, she's been in sci-fi, she's been in drama, she's been in all sorts really. Comedy, she's good at comedy.
And she was in Oppenheimer as well, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Oh, was she in Oppenheimer?
Yeah, there's quite a few people actually we've mentioned tonight that've been in Oppenheimer.
Oh, I might finally watch it then.
This thing's on Netflix now.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
It's a long one. You've got to be in it for the long run, but
I think that's one of the things that maybe like I'll watch it at a certain point, but I've never had 3 hours spare with kids and whatnot.
Yeah, spare. Yeah, they're my picks. So that's me done now, I think. I'm out. What about you, Lewis? What's your 4?
Yeah, can you link your 4th and 5th together, Lewis?
No, I probably put it in the wrong order. I could have linked a couple of them together, but I've not. Obviously, I could have. I'll go with. I'll say Olivia Coleman. I could have linked her in with David Tennant because obviously they were in Broadchurch together. But
you can link it to Florence Pugh. It's in Marvel.
Well, yeah, but again, she's probably like her more for her more TV and small sort of independent British films that she's been in. I know she's obviously she's done quite much bigger things. She's obviously won an Oscar and she's been in she played the Queen and obviously The Crown and things like that. But
she's been around for years, hasn't she? Now, though, Olivia Coleman.
Yeah,
in all sorts.
Peep Show.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Like things like Peep Show, and she's obviously again she's done like cameos. She was in Hot Fuzz and things like that, and she's just another person that's got a very good range of things that she can do. She can do very serious roles. She can do comedy. She can do pretty much anything that comes to mind. She was in Doctor Who for an episode. Again, it was a very small cameo, so she was in that, but she's just very, very good actor. But I probably look at her for more of the earlier things that she's been in, like you say, Peep Show and things like that.
Well, have you seen? Is it called The Father with Anthony Hopkins?
I know what you mean, though. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I heard very good things about that. It's supposed to be very emotional, isn't it?
It's amazing. Like it is very emotional, and it's very what's the word? It's like cuts to the bone kind of thing. It's very it's meant to show you kind of what it's like for someone who has dementia, and it is very good. And she plays his daughter in it, and that's the funny thing. When I turned it on, I went, "Oh, it's her from Peep Show."
Yeah. Well, obviously, she's in The Roses, isn't she? She's the one with Cumberbatch that's just come out recently. Again, this another one.
So you could have said her at the start to link with Benedict Cumberbatch.
She's just some good voiceover as well. To be fair, she's been in quite a few voiceover roles.
Thomas the Tank, apparently, looking at this.
Really?
Thomas the Tank. She's been in Thomas and Friends quite a bit. Obviously, not watched Thomas the Tank Engine since I was a kid, so I wouldn't have known. But yeah,
don't lie.
When she gives a CV to all of these directors, that's
what was at the top. Yeah. But yeah, I just think she's a very good actress. Very good
choice. I like her. And what about you, Dave?
No, Dave.
Which one do I go with? I think I'm leaning towards Christopher Lee for my next one.
It's a very good choice. Very good choice.
I love Christopher Lee. Obviously, you go back. Yes. Such a respected gentleman as well, and you go back to the Hammer horror kind of eras where he played Dracula.
Yep.
And sort of like such an imposing presence. Peter Cushing was originally on my list as well, because I think both those two and Vincent Price were all very, very good kind of horror actors, but they brought about it a certain flair. And then obviously as later on, sort of like Christopher Lee moves into Star Wars as Count Dooku, phenomenal kind of casting. He played the role of the disgruntled Jedi that left the Order perfectly. And even though he turned to the dark side, you kind of felt sympathy for Dooku. Mm-hmm. And you realise how he was manipulated. And Christopher Lee was so good at playing the kind of the level of frustration that he realises when Sidious has betrayed him. You kind of feel that impression. And then also Sauron. Saruman, sorry, yeah. He plays Sauron.
I always get them two mixed up. Too similar.
Yeah, when he plays Saruman as well in Lord of the Rings, is that you get the impressions from him, is that you feel why he started to fall. and why he started to follow Sauron and go down the way that he did. And you find out a lot of behind the scenes from Lord of the Rings is that is it the deleted scenes where he gets stabbed?
Yes.
So obviously,
Wormtail, stabs him in the back.
Yeah,
you see it in the interview on the appendices that Peter Jackson says, "Oh, you do this, and I want you to do this, this, and this," and Christopher Lee goes, "Actually, that's not how you sound when you've been stabbed in the back." And it turns out it actually is something that had happened to him because obviously he was in the war, he was in secret service side of things and whatnot. So he's actually experienced that, and he goes, "This is not how you would act if you were stabbed in the back." And then he plays it how it would genuinely have happened.
Wasn't he alive the same time as?
He's the only cast member to know Tolkien. He was actually met Tolkien.
Yeah.
And he would read the books every year. He was well into sort of the Tolkien legendarium. He sort of very much immersed into it.
That's cool to know.
But like you say, he's one of those. You get quite a lot of actors and people turn around and go, "Oh yes, he owns the screen. He's such a presence." But I think Christopher Lee is one of those people that genuinely owned the screen when he was on it.
Yeah.
And another sir.
Yes. But you look at his sort of his backstory and things like that, and he properly lived a life in terms of what he's done, not just on the film, and obviously I say because he was in the war. He released a metal album in his 80s. He properly lived his life to the fullest, I think. And of all the people that we've mentioned this evening and whatnot, I think he's one of the ones that I genuinely would have liked to have met.
Yes,
I think he would have such rich stories to tell. I think it's a terrific pick, Dave. Really good pick.
Yeah, I say it's just the presence that he brings to the screen. I mean, even when you look at sort of like Bond and Scaramanga, like the whole premise of the Man with the Golden Gun was a bit meh, but he still gave it his all. And he, like you say, he was one of those. He's one of those actors that could just bring it together and has that presence on stage and on screen that was just always there. And you knew that when he was going to deliver his lines, it was going to be delivered with such a passion about it that he genuinely cared for the role that he was. And it's also going back to the Lord of the Rings bits, is that some of the scenes that were deleted is that he took offence to because it was part of the story of Tolkien's vision and the whole rising up against the Shire that's not included in the films. He took genuine offence to it. And fair cop to him, because as you said, he met Tolkien, he understood what Tolkien's vision was, and to cut effectively a very critical part of the story out.
The Shire. I know they allude to it, obviously in the extended editions and things like that, but it was, and I understand why Peter Jackson didn't include the Scouring of the Shire.
Yeah, I do.
At the end of the Return of the King, because it would have then it extends it, and it doesn't then make. They reach a natural ending point, obviously with the destruction of the ring, to then have an entire thing following on after that. I get it, but I understand Christopher Lee's frustration in that because of the passion he had for not only his role but the story, the plot. Because, like I say, he knew the author. It was one of his favourite pastimes to read those books. So from what I understand, actually, I think that either the night before he passed away, he rewatched all of the Lord of the Rings. It's apparently the thing that has come out. He was watching it up until the day he died because he enjoyed it that much. I enjoy going back to, obviously, JJ mentioned it earlier, the Wicker Man. I enjoy his version of the Wicker Man. I think that's the version I prefer. And Christopher Lee, and that is probably one of the reasons as to why.
I wonder what he thought of the Nicolas Cage version.
You know what? He probably enjoyed it. He just wouldn't publicly say it.
Yeah. You know what? It's better than mine.
Well, if we do a Halloween episode, let's get a séance together and try and see if we can ask Sir Christopher.
They're not going to do quite well on the YouTube algorithm because they had all those guys doing 2 a.m. videos talking to Christopher Lee 2 a.m. So maybe we get like 1 million views.
Maybe.
Right. Sorry to give you this job, Oliver, but can you follow on from Christopher Lee?
Well, he was on my list. He was on my list, and I found out that Dave was having him, so I had to replace Christopher Lee with my next person. So I realised I'd got 4 men, and I didn't have a single woman on my list.
Sexist.
I know. So I felt obligated. No, I really wanted to pick Jamie Lee Curtis, who was one of my favourite actors. I love horror. So Halloween is one of my favourite horror series, and I really enjoyed her in that. And then a callback to Big Arnold when he was in True Lies with her as well.
Yeah.
And that was really good. And then I love murder mystery. So one of my favourite murder mystery films is Knives Out.
Oh yeah,
and she was really good in that as Linda. Because throughout the film, when you learn actually what happens to them, for how she is in that, you kind of feel like she probably has a lot of motive, even though she loved her dad. It was kind of like, well, she could benefit from this, and her role on that was really good. So. Yeah, I just thought she was a great actress and someone that kind of came to mind, someone who was a little bit older than some of my other people that I had on my list. So, yeah, maybe not someone we'll talk about as much as others, but she was good for me.
She's been getting quite a lot of talking about her online at the minute.
She's had a bit of a resurgence recently.
That did not influence my decision.
Resurgence.
I'm surprised he's not mentioned Freaky Friday yet, because she's obviously in that, isn't she? So
yeah.
I mean, I was going to say about Halloween, sort of like one of the defining horror of sort of like its time, and it's brought about such a cult following. Obviously, she was instrumental in the whole thing being a success.
Yeah.
The slasher genre starts pretty much with that.
It's like one of the original Scream Queens, wasn't she? To be fair, so.
Yeah.
Final girl.
I mean, you can kind of see why now. You can understand why you'd be decent.
Yeah. He eventually gets her though in one of the more modern Halloween.
But they reboot again, and then she's back, and then she's not.
The second to last one, I think he gets her. I think, or the last one, I can't remember. But I think they're in like a hospital area or something, and she's like, "I've got this, guys. I've done this before," and you were just like, "Yeah, this is it for her, isn't it?"
JJ,
yeah. So mine was kind of the same, where I was like, these are all guys. I need to, pick an actress so I don't get accused of sexism. And if I'd have known, Matt, that we were going to link them to people, I would have said it in my last one. Jennifer Lawrence. And obviously she's in Silver Linings Playbook. She plays crazy very well. I don't know if that's like from experience or she's just very good at playing it. But Jennifer Lawrence, she's one of those where, obviously she was Katniss. That was kind of like, Robert Pattinson. She just played the role. She played it well, but it wasn't like, oh my God, she's the best actress in the world. But that was her kind of breakout hit. But she's been in quite a few things, that have made her stand out. She was in, what was it? She's done something recently where she's dating like a 16-year-old or something.
Yeah, No Hard Feelings. I love that
Yeah.
film.
She plays crazy in that, and she's really funny in that.
Funny.
And then Silver Linings Playbook, she's amazing in that. So I think, she's in another crossover. She's in American
Hustle.
American Hustle. That's it. Yeah, there's so many.
That was with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. See, I could have just crossed it all over. So yeah, and also she's one of those where she just everything I've seen about her, like in interviews and when she's been on the red carpet, she just seems like a genuinely nice human. She doesn't seem like up her own arse, and
she seems to be, based off the interviews I've seen her in, she seems to be one of those people that you probably go on a night out with and have a really fun night. I think she's saying that in one of the times that she's been on, like Graham Norton, she was at the Oscars and she saw this table. I think Harrison Ford was sat there. She sort of walks over to it, thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be able to join in and have a laugh." And then they all just turned around and looked at her as if to say, "Who the hell are you?" She's not embarrassed and sort of spun round and walked off again.
You can imagine that, because there's that one where what's his name? I told you I'm so bad at names at the minute. Here's Johnny.
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. Have you seen that? Where
yeah,
and he goes, "Oh, do I know you?" And she's like, "Oh, maybe I'm a future girlfriend or something like that." And she's dead giddy, and like it's just one of those where she just seems really fun to be around.
Well, it's the fact as well is that she still lives in kind of like her suburban home because she's donated a lot of her money that she's made from filming. She doesn't, like you say, she's down to earth on things as well. She's pretty much I don't want, every time she sees like famous people like Jack Nicholson, she does have that giddy, oh my god, I've met someone famous. She doesn't kind of realise to herself that she's actually really famous to be there in the first place.
Yeah, it's like, I wish more people, like, I feel like the epitome of the opposite of what she is the Smiths. They all seem very much, yes, I'm super famous. Everyone should be in awe of me. And it's like, what have you done apart from Will Smith being, being an actor, and his wife being with, a rapper, and Will Smith? What has she done? But Jennifer Lawrence just seems, like a real person, which I think is quite strange in Hollywood these days. Everyone seems to be under the spell. So apart from the few films that I've seen that I think she's really funny and she's actually quite good in, she just goes on my list just for being an amazing person.
I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that.
Matt's used his last two.
I Lewis has got to follow up from JJ.
What's your last one? Is it another amazing person?
My last one might be a bit more, probably more not as A-list as probably some of the people that we've mentioned before, but for me, he's one of my favourite actors ever, and that's Nathan Fillion.
Oh yeah,
Nathan Fillion.
He's been in obviously loads of things. He was in the final series of Buffy.
Oh yeah, I just remembered that.
The villain towards the end, Caleb. Fireflies, Captain Marvel, Serenity, Castle, which I'm actually rewatching at the moment. It's one of the TV shows I just watch every year because I just enjoy it. Obviously, at the moment, big thing he's in at the moment is obviously The Rookie. That's sort of big thing at the moment. But then he's just been in like just cameos and little things. So he's plays Captain Hammer in Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. It's just like really, really weird.
What about Big Mouth?
Not seen that.
Have you not seen Big Mouth? He
Oh.
plays Nathan Fillion. It's a character that's like in love with him, and she's like an 8-year-old girl or something. And he actually, because I thought, they've got someone that just sounds like him, but no, it's actually him playing.
Yeah.
Exaggerated version of himself.
But again, he's another one that does. He sort of pops up in just random things and does quite a lot of voice work. Obviously, I think he's been in every James Gunn film. James Gunn always manages to fit him in somewhere. Obviously, the latest being Superman, he's Guy Gardner. And I actually saw an interview clip of James Gunn who was just like, because they're asking him, "Oh, your friend Nathan Fillion's in this again." And he's like, "Why is this?" He goes, "Every time I write a film, I think, how can I humiliate Nathan Fillion and put him in there?" It's like the first thought that James Gunn has. But Nathan Fillion's all for it. He's all for just being in it, and even if it's having the mick taken out of him.
Yeah, he's in Deadpool versus Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine as well.
Yeah, he plays Headpool.
Headpool, again, it's just one of those silly roles that he just turns up.
He was in, obviously, the Suicide Squad, so James Gunn's version of that, and he's obviously the guy whose arms detach and flail around, and he gets killed off fairly soon into that. But yeah, and again, he's just one of those actors that you just get the feeling he's a genuinely nice guy.
I think if you actually look a lot of the cast from Firefly Serenity, Alan Tudyk is exactly the same. They do roles that they want to be involved in, so they're not A-list celebrities as such, but they generally have fun in any role that they put their mind to.
And one of my prized possessions is me with Nathan Fillion. That's a bit blurry there, but
can't focus on it.
Can't focus on it, but I'll send you a picture, Matt. You can edit it in. But yeah, so I've met Nathan Fillion. I've met Alan Tudyk. He again is just a genuinely nice person.
Cool.
So yeah,
I was gutted that he wasn't Nathan Drake in the Uncharted films.
Yes. Now, have you seen the clip? He did a little short where he plays sort of an old version of Nate Drake, but he was the fan cast that everyone wanted to play Nate Drake. And I get it. He's too old.
Holland.
I know they picked Tom Holland because Nathan Fillion's too old to play the role of Nate Drake now, but if you were to do a film where you are looking at having an older version of that character, he would straight away be the one that everyone would pick.
Just out of everything, Tom Holland. Come on, it was.
I don't know. Mark Wahlberg was pretty bad as Sully in that as well, and the fact that they didn't even give him his signature mustache was just a criminal offence.
They could have done like a Superman and like CGI, done the opposite and CGI'd it on.
But yeah, no, Nathan Fillion is my last pick because he's just I just enjoy him in everything he's in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my last one then. Yeah, my last one is, we've been discussing a lot about comedians, etc., and I think rounds it off perfectly for me is Leslie Nielsen. Because he started off as a serious actor.
Did he actually?
What was he as a serious actor?
Oh, if you actually look, his filmography starts in 1955. So he was in an awful lot of films up until, 1980 is when he did Aeroplane, which was his first comedy role.
Yeah.
Because he was a serious actor, but then it was, people realised that he has a very pitch perfect timing, and he's very good at delivering those one-liners, and the drabness and how he just plays it so down to earth is what made his kind of like his comedy come to life. And then obviously from as soon as Aeroplane came out is that he did a couple more serious films, but then 1987 was his last ever non-comedy role, and 1987 onwards he just did comedy roles. You think about
one of them.
the Naked Gun trilogy. The Naked Gun trilogy came about from Police Squad, which was can't remember how many. I think 7 episodes, wasn't it? Police Squad. They didn't do many for episodes, but then it spawned 3 movies because of the comic timing and all that. And then his delivery is kind of like what a lot of people have followed on from. So you can kind of see where his delivery of comedy has carried on into modern genres and modern timings, and a lot of comedians kind of take sort of like the comedic timing from his original interpretation of it.
Yeah.
But surely he can't be serious.
Don't call me Shirley.
I'm serious, and don't call me Shirley.
That was another one that I showed Jade because she'd never seen it. And I put it on, and she was laughing at it, but she was kind of like, "Oh, it's so like dad jokes." It's like,
yeah,
no, it's hilarious. I went the autopilot. It is, you know. I like my coffee like I like my men black. It's just so. Oh my god, there's so many quotable bits in that film. It's incredible.
Yeah. It is. It's just like the whole thing as well, where like they're trying to land the plane and they do the same scat over and over again. Where he just opens the door and says, "I just want to wish you both good luck. We're all counting on you." And even when the plane's crashed on the ground, is that he just comes in and it's at the exact same timing as that he's done previously. Just perfect line every time. It just so deadpan and drab throughout it.
It is one of those. It's like I thought he was still alive. It's one of those where you don't know if they're dead or alive because they've just
One of the reasons as to why I don't know if I want to watch the new Naked Gun film because I don't know if it's going to tarnish what's come beforehand.
They've done it as a lot of tribute to the originals from what people have been saying.
Okay.
And I'm glad they picked Liam Neeson. If they'd picked anyone else, I wouldn't have been behind it. There's just something about Liam Neeson, and the jokes I've seen in the trailers just make me want to see it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the clip? Obviously, because Liam Neeson's obviously going around at the moment promoting the film, and he appears on. He's appearing on, I think it's like Capital Radio or something like that, and they say to him like, "How can you deliver these lines with such a straight face like, as you're doing in these films, in this film and whatnot?" And he just turns to the host and goes, "What's your secret? How do you deliver these lines?" He goes, "It's easy. I just think about my dead mother as I'm saying these lines." And the studio wets themselves. And he looks at the guy and goes, "Why are you laughing? It's not funny."
God. That's brilliant.
And again, it's just one of those things that I say. I think it's probably something that only Liam Neeson can probably get away with saying. He's obviously means it in a jokey manner, but he's saying it with such a deadpan face that you kind of take him serious on it.
Yeah, but you would like, unless he was doing a comedy film, you won't laugh at Liam Neeson. I mean,
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, Leslie Nielsen is a good pick as well. He pops up in some of the Scary Movie films as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's in the Scary Movie films. Yeah, he's the president of the United States.
It, yeah. I'm just sitting there thinking, it's obviously, it's taking the mick on the obviously Scream and the horror genre and what, and actually, Leslie Nielsen's just appearing it as the president. Really random. Okay, Oliver, is this the most controversial pick that you had on your list?
So my last pick is Pedro Pascal.
Oh, okay.
So I obviously love him from The Mandalorian. I don't know if anyone saw the latest Gladiator film. I wasn't expecting too much from it, and to be fair, I think he's been like memed now that he just seems to die in a lot of things that he's in at the moment. So I wasn't expecting for him to be in long. So I was like, I went with my girlfriend and I said, "Yeah, this guy that I've come to see, I don't expect him to be in this for very long." And she was like, "Oh, that's fine." And he kind of was in it for a little bit because I went to go and see another film that came out last year called Drive Away Dolls.
And he's also in that.
And he's also in that, and he's literally in it for 2 minutes, and he dies at the start of the film.
What?
And if you look at it on IMDb, his role was penis collector.
What?
So basically, there's like a phallus of like all of the presidents of the US. They've had like a mold of their penis, and it manages to get on the black market. Yeah, I can't even explain it. Like, and he manages to steal it from the black market, and he's trying to sell it, and he gets shot, and he just dies in it. And that's the whole point of Pedro Pascal being in it. It's dead weird.
Was this cinema down like in a weird alley?
You know those drugs I was talking about with Nicolas Cage earlier. I was taking that. But to be fair, I really love him in Narcos as well. I don't know if anyone's really sat down and watched.
Not seen all of it, but he's
I enjoyed him in that.
I do like Pedro Pascal. Obviously, he's in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I like him in Game of Thrones. I like him in Narcos.
Yeah.
Mando, Last of Us now as well.
I just feel like it's very much getting shoved in.
Too much.
Yeah.
He's in everything, isn't he, at the moment? So that's why he was like my last pick, and I was like, I need to kind of figure it out. And I said, that like high that he's on with me now might kind of drop just because of some of his performances and some of the stuff you see on the media with, some of the stuff that he's doing. And he's kind of cool.
Very
but
anxious.
You don't want him to. His anxiety, like.
Anxious.
Like some of the actresses he's worked with, I'd be anxious too. So, but yeah, I think for me that's where I am with him now. He's high at the moment. If you ask me again, and we did this like as a yearly thing, it might change. So
you go. I liked the last 300 films he was in this year. It was great.
Wow, did you see that 2025 he had with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things he was in already?
Well, he was meant to be in Weapons.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, so he would have been in another film.
It's one of those ones as well where he's in quite a lot of things that he's in at the moment. He's sort of being typecasted as, I'm the dad character that has to look after this lost or abandoned child type thing.
Yeah.
Even in
the
Marvel,
thing is, I looked at
even in Marvel, he's the dad again. He's the Mr. Fantastic. He's the lead. Just the lead of the.
Just being typecasted as that at the moment.
Yeah, like he is likable, but it's that thing of like, I don't know if it's coming across as weird just because we're seeing him so much.
Yeah, maybe.
Or if it is something that's weird. Like I saw something saying he's the most likely celebrity at the minute to be caught up in like some kind of dodgy situation. And I wouldn't want it. It's not like oh yeah, I hope it does happen. But when it gets pointed out to you, and then you see him in everything, it's kind of like so if he's the new hot topic, is it gonna happen?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. So he is good, but I can't say there's anything that he's been in that I go, oh wow, he's not playing Pedro Pascal. At the minute, he's playing, like you said, he's playing the daddy, but that's what he's playing in the media as well. Every interview, it's like, oh, I'm the daddy of the internet. Like he literally says that in an interview. I'm the daddy of the internet, and he's playing up to it. But it'd be nice to see him play something else.
Yeah,
like a bad guy. That'd be cool.
He's been a bad guy. In Wonder Woman, the second one, plays Maxwell Lord. He's the villain. So he can do it.
I forgot he was even in that.
Has he been a villain?
I like that film. Yes, he was one of his very early television scenes. In I think it was like open episode series 4 of Buffy. He plays a vampire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Very, very young Pedro Pascal. And JJ, do you want to round us out? Your 5th pick.
My final pick is Christian Bale.
Oh, good one to end on.
Wow.
Like, he is one of those, when I was saying earlier before we started the episode, like, method actors. Like, who else can you think of that's literally, like, lost 150 pounds, then gained 200 pounds of muscle, and then lost it again, and then put fat on? Like, he is insane. Any role that he gets given, he puts his all into it, probably to his, the detrimental of his health. Obviously, there was the thing with the Terminator Salvation where he was shouting at the lighting man. But I feel like over the years, when it first came out, I was like, oh, what an absolute arsehole. But after a couple of years, it's like when you think about it, it's probably just because he takes his job so seriously.
Yeah.
But he's, I can imagine at the time he did it, and then afterwards, I imagine he probably went, "Oh, yeah, I was a bit of an arse doing that." But he is literally my favorite Batman of all time. He's, I don't know if the Christopher Nolan films would have been as good without him, because he went for it. Obviously, he got the meme of the "I'm Batman," and then he's been in so many films. Like, I love American Psycho.
Yeah,
he plays that really well. When I was going through, when I was thinking of my last pick, and I was just going through what person have I got that's been in loads of films, like Equilibrium. Has everyone seen that?
I love Equilibrium.
Yeah,
I love that film, and he doesn't really. I'd say he doesn't act in it because he's so stoic and he's not meant to have emotions, but that's a way of acting, I suppose. He had to, be very straight faced. He's been in Reign of Fire, which is a very underappreciated film. It's a British film, and there's Matthew McConaughey, loads of people in it that are big now. Is in American Hustle as well. Another one. Literally 3 of my picks have been in American Hustle.
It's like you turn around now and go, I actually don't like that film.
It's not even that good. I just think he is an incredible actor. Like, I think his dedication is bar none. I cannot think of anyone else that goes as far as him. Like, if you look at Machinist, he literally survived for months on an apple and a cigarette. That's it. That's all he had for months, and he is literally skeletal. He's on the verge of death, and he still managed to act in the film. Like, if I was that hungry and that starving, I wouldn't. They'd go, "Oh, action." I was like, "No, I'm not doing it. I'm hungry. I don't care."
I think, like I said about Arnie earlier, him being the singular highlight to Batman and Robin, Christian Bale is the singular highlight to Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah.
When I saw that he was cast as
Gore
the God Butcher, I was thinking, oh wow, what a really good actor to play that role. And then they've just, no pun intended, but they butchered the film. But Christian Bale was the highlight to that film because you could sort of understand.
He did what he could.
Yeah, he did what he could, and he's put in, his sort of, they say his heart and soul into that character, and the reasoning behind why Gore does what he does. Obviously, he feels like he's failed by the gods because they've allowed his daughter to die and things like that, and then that's why he goes on his crusade against them. But you can understand why, because of the way that Christian Bale plays the character. And they say, he's the only highlight to that film, and he was wasted. He could have done so much more and made that character so much better, but he did exactly what he needed to do in a terrible, terrible film.
Well, yeah, it's just like what you said earlier with Mark Hamill, isn't it? They gave the performance that they could, but when the film is a turd wrapped in gold, there's only so much you can do.
There's so many times you can shine it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like you get with his voice acting as well. Obviously, he does Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. I literally looked it up the other day when I was looking for this video, and I didn't even know.
Yeah, I love Howl's Moving Castle. It's one of my favourite Studio Ghibli's.
Yeah, and apparently he's a really big fan of them as well, which gives him extra one.
Mark Hamill's in Laputa. I think he does the original. Got to remember now.
Does he play Joker?
Yeah, I think.
Chris.
Yeah, he's Mushka.
Ah.
He does.
Yeah, I think he's just one of those, isn't he? Where I think in the future he'll be one of those that's recognised as like, you know, he's going to be up there with Anthony Hopkins, and you think you know, how old is he now? He's like 50 or something.
Got rid of his 50s now, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or at least late 40s. 51. So he's still got a good couple of years. Like, I really hope that he's in something else that's really, you know, he can get his chops on. Maybe I don't want him to do any more crazy body stuff. So he's like, you know, potentially kill himself. But one of my favourite stories is from Batman Begins. You know, obviously he did Machinist, and he lost all that weight, and then he shows up to he bulked up, and he shows up to the thing. They just said, "Yeah, we need you to put on like 200 pounds." So he goes and he shows up, and they go, "We're shooting Batman, not Fat Man," and he had to go away for another like couple of months and lose some weight. Can you imagine that? There, you literally like, I'm literally like skin and bones. Oh, they want me to play Batman.
Are you telling me I'm too fat?
Yeah, I'm too fat now.
I do agree with you. He's definitely sort of like, he's my Batman. I love Michael Keaton as Batman, but I think Christian Bale's just portrayal of it. The only thing that I really hate is the whole scene in the sewer with Batman and Bane, because even the subtitles is just question marks. It doesn't know what either of them are saying, because Christian Bale's just really deep and gruff, and Tom Hardy's just really high pitched and squeaky, and they've got the water behind them both. It just.
But he's just Sean Connery, but with a mask on. I just pretend that film didn't exist. I just stop at Dark Knight. That's it.
I don't mind it. It's still a good film, but there are audio problems to it. But give Sean a glass, yay big, half-pint glass that big, and he can do a bang-on Bane impression with a half-pint glass. Next time he's on, we'll get him to do it.
You should have put a screen on when the skeleton just sat in the corner, like we did the last couple of times.
But yeah, no, it's a good pick.
Yeah, there's been some good choices, I think. To be fair, it's been a good chat. This has been one of my favourite fellowships so far. I think this one. To be fair, it's been some good chats.
We've got the best out of the fellowship here. That's why we got the best of the fellowship. Here we are.
Dream team.
All right. Next one, I think we mentioned it in the group chat. I think the next one we might possibly look at doing is to do with music composers and scores. So your likes of John Williams, Hans Zimmer, things like that.
It's coming up to October. We need a Halloween one.
Oh, there will be a Halloween one. Don't worry.
We need a 1-year anniversary as well. Woo!
Whoa, that's coming around fast.
It'll be a year in October.
Because our first one was around Halloween, wasn't it? So yeah. The Halloween special will also be the anniversary special.
Let's see if we can get the rest to join up with us.
Yeah. We're gonna have to dress in costume for it as well.
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should do costumes for it.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, if you
well, we'll have to say what we're going to be, so we're not all turning up as the Flash.
Awkward.
Episode of Big Bang.
Alternate universes. There we go. I'll just start with that.
You all turn up as the Flash. Sorry, Matt, you were saying?
Yes, if you agree with any of our picks or disagree with any of our picks for some of our favourite actors, feel free to let us know in the comments. Let us know some of your favourite actors. What movies you've enjoyed them in, what movies you might not have enjoyed them in. But
any recommendations for us to watch?
Yeah, definitely. Feel free to let us
like, share, subscribe.
Follow us on our socials down the bottom if you want to keep up with what we're doing next. And we've got plenty coming in the following months. And we hope you've enjoyed what you're watching. I've been Matt. Well. It's been fun, fellas. We'll see you soon.
See you all soon.
Cool. Cheers for tonight,
Auf
guys.
Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
Catch you all later.
Bye bye.